Okay, welcome to Motembei TV from wherever you're watching us. This is your favorite show, but today we are not doing the normal politics for a start. We have our special show here where we bring you information on opportunities across the globe. And today we are privileged here to have Julia, who is going to do a short presentation about teaching opportunities in the USA. So we welcome you all. We will leave the comment section open for your questions. If you have any questions, tafadhali ukatutumia maswali yako kwenye comment section. Kama kuna mtu yeyote ambaye unamjua ambaye unaona ni kama angefaidika na ujumbe ambao utapitishwa siku ya leo, tafadhali ukaweze kuminvite kwenye show, na wakati tutaanza show Julia akimaliza kupeana presentation yake, tafadhali kama una swali lolote ungependa kujua kuhusiana na opportunities ambazo ziko za walimu katika nchi ya Amerika, tafadhali uliza, alafu tutajibu maswali yenu, na tukipata muda zaidi tutaweza kufanya siasa kidogo kama kawaida. Lakini kwanza kipaumbele kwa siku ya leo ni opportunities, nafasi za walimu katika nchi ya Amerika. Information is free. We are not charging you anything. This is information that you'll get only at this program kwa Motembei TV. So tafadhali, kama kuna mtu yeyote ambaye unajua ni mwalimu, pengine ametamak pale, amekuwa akifunza kazi ambayo si stable vile, mwambie akuje asikize ujumbe ambao unapeanwa siku ya leo. Na kwa hayo machache, kwanza acha nimkaribishe mgeni wetu siku ya leo. Kila siku tunajua tunapiga siasa hapa. Acha nipatie Julia nafasi ya wasalimie kwanza, alafu from there we can proceed on to the next part. Karibu Julia.
Asante Makiadi. Thank you so much. I want to greet everyone watching this TV this evening, for those who are maybe in America or Canada, and maybe those who are in Kenya, maybe it's early morning. Nawasalimia nyote. I'm excited to be in this show. I appreciate that you join us all the time. Pia mimi kama Bwana Makiadi nawakaribisha nyote, and we hope that we are going to have a wonderful moment tonight and this morning. Asante Makiadi.
All right. Thank you once again. If you want to be acknowledged from the comment section, unaweza tusalimia hapo tukutaje jina kabla tuanze. Ndiposa tujue kwamba show yetu imeenda live. Unajua pengine tunaweza kuwa tunazungumza hapa na hakuna mtu anatutazama kule nje. So tafadhali, naona kuna watu already wamejoin show pale, takriban watu 27. Kwa hivyo kama kuna mtu ambaye unajua, kumbuka last weekend tulikuwa na show ya opportunities in Canada, na the response was good. We were actually impressed ya kwamba watu walijitokelezea, na kuna watu wengi sana wanasema walifaidika na mawaidha ambayo yalitolewa na our councils ambao tulikuwa tumewa invite hapa, Makori, Mise na Peter kutoka Canada. Na pia kama kuna wale ambao bado mlikuwa mnataka kujua website ya council wetu, tulisema ni JM Law at let me just read that. It's Immigration to Canada information that can be found from their website, www.jmlawoffice.ca. Again, www.jmlawoffice.ca. Kama una kitu ambacho ulikuwa unatamani kujua kuhusiana na immigration to Canada, wale wageni tuliwaleta last time, hiyo ni website yao. There's a ticket there. You just go there, fill your name, fill your phone number, and then send the ticket and they'll get back to you. So thank you so much for your response from last time. So today's show, we are shifting gears to the USA. In the comment section, Collins Ashiruka. Hi Collins Ashiruka from Nairobi. Asante sana Collins Ashiruka kwa kututazama kwenye Mtembei TV. Nigel Black, hamjambo Makiadi na Julia, sisi sote tuwajambo, tuwashukuru. Newton Mokwanga anasema please write it here on the page please. Okay, sasa nitawapatia hiyo website tena, hiyo ya last weekend ambayo ilikuwa ni Immigration to Canada. So Newton Mokwanga, asante sana kwa kutukumbusha, tutaweza kupatia hiyo website. Kuna Peter K Matumbi, morning to you. Maureen sign, hiyo ni sine ama ni sign? Nasoma namna gani Julia? Ni sine ama ni sign? Unajua kuna ile
Okay.
hesabu eh?
Okay, kwa kihesabu that is
hata karibu nikuulize, unajua ni mwalimu wa hesabu, hii tulikuwa tunasema sine ama sign kuna ile hesabu ya sokatoa
sin theta, maybe Maureen sin a chord.
na hii sin theta inakuanga sin ama sine?
The full word is SINE, lakini we have a short form SIN.
Okay. Yeah, nakumbuka sokatoa sign of sijui what mahesabu
Sokatoa. Wewe ni mwanafunzi mzuri wewe, unakumbuka
nakumbuka hizo hesabu sana, kwa sababu hiyo ndio ilikuwa hesabu ya kupata ukianguka kila kitu ingine, lakini huwezi anguka sokatoa.
And you wondered who was this theta the teacher talked about?
Yeah.
You always ask yourself, and who is this theta?
Theta, yeah, angle theta. I don't know if you want to find the angle between the hypotenuse and the was it obtuse or what?
The hypotenuse and the opposite side.
Opposite side, you see. Oh, very good. Bado hii masomo iko kwa akili. So watazamaji wetu, tafadhali, we are giving you a little bit more time, a few minutes kabla tuende kwa program yetu. You want to invite somebody, you think somebody will benefit from this information, tafadhali pitisha ujumbe, na pia unaweza kutuambia unatutazama kutoka wapi, ndio tujue show imefikia kila mtu ambaye tulikuwa tunatarajia siku ya leo. Sioni kama kuna mtu mwingine ambaye nikuwa nafaa kumtaja nikakosa kumtaja, but karibisha mwenzako. Julia has a very interesting presentation today, na utashangaa sana kwamba huu jumbe uko nje, lakini ni kwamba wewe huko umepata mtu wa kukuambia kwamba huu jumbe uko, and that is why we are making this show special, because we want to get you information that otherwise somebody would charge you out there, to give you this information. Here it's free. Dennis Ondieka anasema habari yenu Makedi na Julia, leo mnazungumzia kuhusu walimu pekee ama kuna kazi nyingine pia? Kwa vile leo tumejipanga kuzungumzia walimu, Dennis, leo tutazungumzia kazi za walimu, lakini kama kuna swali lolote ambalo ulikuwa unataka kujua kuhusiana na kazi yoyote ile, tafadhali usife moyo. Tafadhali tuma ujumbe wako hapo, andika ujumbe wako hapo, tutatafuta wataalamu, kwa sababu Motembei TV iko na wataalamu zaidi. Kwa hivyo tutakutafutia information, kama ni information yoyote unataka kwa kazi yoyote ile, alafu tutakwambia what opportunities are there, and please try to specify which country, which region you want information from, so that when we get the information we know where exactly we are going to search it from. Nyakwar Wun Orimbo watching from Ukunda. Asante sana Nyakwara, karibu sana kwenye show. Julia, sijui kama unataka ku take over uendelee ama tuwapatie dakika moja nyingine.
Tuwapatie dakika moja watuelezee kunaendeleaje pale nchini Kenya. Maybe they can chat with us, send us chats, what's happening, what's cooking Newton. Naona Newton ako Kakamega. What's cooking in Kakamega? By the way, are you people planning to watch World Cup? Now, which teams are you cheering? I think I want to cheer Senegal for a while, Matiadi, and I want to cheer my African countries for a while. Starting Senegal I want to cheer Senegal and maybe Ghana. Then I hope they make it somewhere, Makiadi. If they don't make it, I'll start cheering the South American countries. Are you following World Cup?
Yeah, actually, this time round, I have not decided which team to support. I normally support Brazil, but I was looking at their players this time, and I think I don't think they will go far. I don't think they'll go far this time, but let's hope. But African countries, obviously, we always support African countries. They have disappointed us so many times in the previous World Cup competitions. Let's see how they'll play this time, but definitely we always wish that an African country can become a winner one day. Yeah. Anasema nani Newton Mokwanga anasema all African countries. Exactly, Newton. Kila mtu, Africans, we always make sure that we support our teams. Nyakwara anasema Ukunda is hot and raining. Julia, nimeona mvua imerudi Kenya sasa.
imerudi Kenya, so we don't need GMO doing.
No, I think the rain is carrying people around, inawabeba kama vikapu. Nimeona watu kule Kajiado wameanza kucomplain. Nakumbuka tulifanya show hapa last time tukisema Kajiado watu wanauza ng'ombe 500 ama wanapeana ng'ombe moja ndio apewe maji ya kupatia ng'ombe wao.
Yes.
So mambo yamebadilika sasa. Inasemekana sasa watu Kajiado wanasombwa na mafuriko.
That is the irony of Kenya. I think we need dams. Maybe if we had dams, we could be harvesting that water so that it doesn't flood.
Yeah, so kuna watu wanalalamika ya kwamba wanasombwa na mafuriko. Ningetamani sana kama unajua tungekuwa na mipango ambayo hata kama ni serikali zetu za county zingekuwa na mipango ya kukusanya yale maji na kuyatumia, kwa sababu maji yanasomba watu, alafu baada ya siku kadhaa tunaanza kulia tena kiangazi kimerudi, kuna njaa, na wajua tunaweza fanya ukulima wa unyunyuziaji kwa sababu maji kama hayo yanaenda bure, yanaweza tumika mahali kwingine. Naona Fatma Mohamed anasema hi, really miss you guys, hata sisi tumewakosa sana. Peter K Matumbi anasema Kenya is good but lack of jobs, na we are almost skilled. Naelewa Peter, tunajua kwamba Wakenya wamesoma sana, na sisi tumesema hatutapiga siasa kila siku hapa. Tutajaribu kwa wakati mwingine kukuja hapa tuweze kuongea nafasi za kazi. Tunajua kwamba kuna vijana wengi sana ambao wana taaluma na tajriba ya hali ya juu, wamesoma, wako na vyeti vya chuo kikuu, lakini tunajua kwamba kama si siasa, kufaulu ni ngumu, kwa sababu wale ambao wanafaulu Kenya bila vyeti ni watu wa siasa, wanasiasa peke yake. Kisoi Evans anasema natazama kutoka Makueni. Such a good discussion. It has been my dream to teach in the USA. This information that we need. Things have fallen apart in Kenya. #Team Senegal, #Team France. Asante sana Kisoi for your compliments. We know Team France. Kama wewe ni Team France, nina ujumbe kwako. Karim Benzema ameumia kwenye mazoezi, kwa hivyo hataweza kucheza this time round, bahati mbaya kwake. Nani mwingine anasema hatuhitaji GMO? Huyo ni Nyakwarun Orimbo anasema kwamba hatuhitaji GMO. Maureen Sign, nitamuita Sign wacha sababu mwisa ni Sign si Sine. Okoth anasema sio Kimau is called, jina ni Sign, Sine in Swahili, not the math one. Ni Sine, si Sign.
Okay, Maureen Sine Accord kwamba msamaha kuita Sign.
Wewe ndio unafaa kumomba msamaha because wewe umeifanya ikakuwa mathematical. Haya, nani mwingine? Naona Newton Mukonga anasema please Mutembei, I request for a job opportunity abroad. I had a seaplane of 44 points. I will appreciate so much if you do that miracle in my life. Anywhere in the world I can work to support my family, please. Newton, sisi tulikuwa na session mzuri sana last time. Julia, sijui kama unaweza mwambia ile visa tulikuwa tunaambiwa hapa.
Walisema kuna they called it semi-skilled visa, or what do they call it? I mean, kuna visa pale Newton Makwangwa ya Canada that you can apply even to work in the farms. I mean, you can, and the speakers were saying that you don't need any skills. You just need to apply for that visa and to find a job. And they were saying, Makeni walikuwa nasema wanaweza tafutia wateja kazi. They can connect with them. And you know, Makeni, I was thinking, when if it's a Kenyan and they don't have money to pay those lawyers, I mean, because now we have connections with them as Mutembei, we can make arrangements that once somebody like Newton manages to immigrate to Canada to work as a farmer or something else, then he can be paying them pole juu ni Mkenya. Hakuna vile atatoka na pesa yao. Ama aje Mwakeni, unaonaje?
Yeah, you know, the best thing about these lawyers ni Wakenya na wanaelewa ile kitu ambao wanafanya. Wakikufanyia kitu kama kukufailia visa kama hiyo, itafika kwamba kama hauna pesa za kuwalipa, mnaandikishana tu, alafu watakuwa wanapata sehemu kidogo tu kutoka kwa mshahara yako, lakini kuna nafasi. Newton ameuliza hiyo swali, ndio? Newton, kuna nafasi mingi sana. Lawyers ambao tulikuwa nao hapa last weekend walituambia kwamba kuna nafasi mingi sana, hata si lazima tuko umesoma, unaweza tafuta hizi nafasi tu. Zingine zilikuwa zinaitwa temporary
work visa.
work
I mean,
visa,
yes,
employment permit or something like that. I can't
yes,
remember.
employment permits, and kuna cleaning, kuna cleaning, kuna ukulima. Unaona, and I want to tell Kenyans that unajua some people huwa wanaharibi maneno ya cleaning in the West. I want to say in the West, even me, I can do that work, Makiadi, because here they use a lot of machinery. Now, Makiadi, most of the houses here, if someone employs you, utapata akona vacuum cleaner, nguo zake si utafua na mkono, akona washing machine. I mean, they use a lot of machinery to do their work. So hata kama ni kazi ya kufua ama kazi ya kuosha nyumba ama kazi ya kulima, it is not that utakuwa unalima na jembe. You'll be using machinery. So it is not like in Kenya. And one thing I think Makiadi Kenyans needs to know, the objective is to cross the Atlantic Ocean. You know, once umevuka that ocean and you land in Canada or America, I mean, you may only have to do that work for some time, and maybe you get yourself some training, and maybe you change your profession or career. And I want to say your life will never be the same again. It is a fact, your life and the lives of your family will never be the same again, hata kama niyo kazi ya ukulima.
Yeah, and because people are demanding for that link, I have typed the link in the comment section. This is not the link to join the studio, tafadhali. Any link ya wale lawyers tulikuwa now last time, I have typed it in caps, all caps, capital letters, and your let me see if it's correct. It's www.jmlawoffice. Is it law office, or let me see? It was www.jmlawoffice.ca. Ninaitype tena www.jmlawoffice.ca. Nimetuma kwenye link. Tafadhali kama unaweza enda pale, create a work ticket. It's very easy. You can do it even on the phone. You create a work ticket and then you press send. They can call you back, they can email you back, and you can have a discussion from there. So tafadhali angalia hiyo link nimekuwekea hapo. Kama unataka kusikia more opportunities ambazo zina exist in the Canadian market for probably people who have no tertiary education or university degree, and so you can use that. There are so many opportunities, as we were told. So take information is free. Take the first initiative. Hizi vitu zote watu wanaogopa kwa sababu hawajawahi ambiwa. Unajua Julia, nilikuja gundua kitu moja. People think immigrating to another country to look for opportunities is very expensive, but some of these people that help you understand that you don't have the money, and you can always come up with some form of agreement so that you can be able to repay them in installments. Kama watakusaidia wewe, ile kitu utafanya tu, shika watu wawili watatu, tafuta air ticket, lipa air ticket, na hizo zingine zote utasaidiwa ukifika. Na naona saa hii kuna hustler fund. Hiyo hustler fund pia bora unalipa, unaweza shika watu wawili watatu mchukue hiyo pesa na ulipe ndege.
And once you come here ukiwa na dollar, I mean, paying the hustler fund will not be a struggle when you are earning a dollar. You know, a dollar right now is about 120 Kenya shillings. Yeah.
Yeah, 121, yeah.
So you people contact that office, office ya lawyers, and I think, where there's a will, Mr. Makiadi, there's a way. And I always say, if you can start applying, kama unataka kwenda ngambo, start applying for your passport. One of the things that you need, apply for your Kenyan passport. The next thing, one of the other things that is critical, tafuta driver's license. People normally say, unajua, it's not even, I'm not talking about international driver's license. You can drive in the US with, especially like South Carolina, Makiadi, you can drive here with your Kenyan license for 3 months.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Yes. Yeah, I was driving for 3 months, and that's allowed by the law. For 3 months, they allow you to drive for 3 months with your Kenyan license until you do their test and pass their test. Na kama umeendesha gari pale Kenya, especially kama unaendesha gari pale Nairobi, wewe ni driver shupavu. You can drive in South Carolina, because I don't know how people survive driving in Nairobi, Makiadi. I don't know how they survive, and they don't get into accidents.
Nairobi, driving in Nairobi is everyone for himself, God for us all. It's the rule of the jungle. As long as there is space that your vehicle can fit, we unaingiza tu gari hapo, bora utokee pande ile ingine. There are no rules. The funny thing is we had traffic lights somewhere pale Uhuru Highway. Siku ingine nilikuwa naenda, naona ni kama nitasimamisha gari, unasikia mtu ana hut nyuma yako, anashangaa unasimamisha gari kwa nini? Anataka muendelee na taa ziko red, taa ziko
red.
yeah. So those are some of the things zenye zinasumbua watu wakikuja kwa nchi zingine ambazo
yeah. But it is good that you have a driver's license and you have your passport. You know, you walk by faith. You do what is doable humanly. Sasa alafu kitafuta watu kama this kind of lawyers that Makedi has posted, they can give you more information on how you can go to Canada. So and then tonight we shall be talking about America. So I think opportunities are many, Makedi. There are many opportunities.
Yeah, so like we said today, invite somebody. I think now Julia can go ahead and start, and we want you to invite somebody. What we are talking about is, as you can see there, teaching opportunities in the United States with visa sponsorship. Sasa hii si ile unasikiaga mazinga mbwe kule nje, mtu anakuambia sijui nitakutafutia nini. Hii wewe mwenyewe Julia vile ataenda kukuelezea hapa. Hii haina conman huko nje, hakuna agent sijui nini wa kutoka Kenya wale ambao wanapeleka watu Saudia huko wanaenda kuwauza kwenye kazi ni kama ya utumwa. This is a real thing, and we have our evidence sitting in front of us today. So we want to give Julia an opportunity to explain to us. If you have any questions, the comment section is open. You might not get a chance to join the studio probably right now, lakini tunaweza achilia link baadaye kama unataka kuuliza swali ambayo ni lazima ulize live, utapata hiyo nafasi, lakini wacha tupatie Julia kwanza nafasi, alafu akishatuelimisha then we can open the forum for discussion. So Julia, I don't know how you want to carry on. If you want to share the screen,
I'll just start. Yeah, Asante Makiadi. So I want to start by talking about myself. I'm a formerly a Kenyan teacher, and I taught in Kenya in 3 schools in Kenya. I taught in Lions High School, Kisumu. I also taught in St. George's, Sianda is in Kisumu rural, and then later I went to teach in Mutira Girls High School in Kirinyaga County. I am a trained math teacher registered by the Teacher Service Commission. I also teach business studies. So as mimi ni mwalimu Kenya, okay? So I came to Kenya, I was sponsored by one of the agencies that are sponsoring teachers to come and teach in the US. So I'm a simple teacher. I did not have any money. I mean, I didn't have so much money to sponsor myself. I only did simple things like looking for a driver's license and a passport. Everything else, someone helped me. So I'm going to tell you how. It is real. It is happening, and it is not a myth. The evidence of what I'm talking about. So I will share my PowerPoint, please. My PowerPoint, just to be more specific. Makiadi, niambie kama when you don't hear me, let me know. Kama unisikii vizuri. Sometimes my laptop shares even my sound and blocks me. So we're talking about teaching opportunities in, you can hear me, Makiadi? I was just wondering, ulikuwa unanisikia?
No, I can hear you, but I can't see the presentation, the PowerPoint presentation.
Okay. I don't know what happened. Let me try again. A minute.
Okay. Unanisumbua, tumeona salamu zako. Justin Nyachio Musa, asante sana, anasema very interesting. Judith Awinja anasema Julia help me. Sasa leo utapata information hapa, wewe tegea tu hapo dakika moja tuone kama hii presentation, PowerPoint presentation itakubali.
Yeah, let me see whether it's gonna work. Okay, utaniambia kama unaiona.
Yeah. Bado.
Okay, a minute.
Okay.
You see anything?
Yeah, let me see. It's still populating. Yep, I think I can see it. So,
Okay, you see it now
okay,
better.
yeah, that's the font size is good. I think we can go on from there.
Okay. Okay, so members of Mutembei TV, we're talking about teaching opportunities in the US with visa sponsorship. Like I began saying that I am evidence of that sponsorship. A firm sponsored me, and they paid my air tickets, they sponsored my documents, that they paid for my visa documents, and the only thing I need to do is to avail myself for the visa interview and provide my passport and my driver's license. So I'm going to talk about these farms. So these farms there are about 4 farms that I know. Now, one of them, the one that sponsored me is Faces, that you can see on the screen, Teach with Faces in South Carolina. I'm going to provide these links for you later on the chat. Now, the other one is Teach with TPG. They work, I think TPG works in South Carolina and North Carolina. Then we have EPI, that is Education Partners International, and we have Global Teaching Partners. So far, those are the various firms that I know. So these agencies do not charge you any money. You just need to meet their qualification. They don't charge you any fee for the application. There are no fees, and some of these agencies actually even pay your air ticket, and they pay your for your documents. Some of them, I will tell you which one pays for your air ticket. So I want to start by telling you what you need to apply through these agencies. So the main qualifications that you need to have is a Bachelor of Education degree. Now, in the following subjects, either math, science, chemistry, biology, physics. Now, I've said science because for primary school teachers teach in elementary school or the middle school. So if you're going to teach in the primary school here in the US, you go to the elementary school or you go to the middle school, and you may be required to be a science teacher or a math teacher. But if you're going to teach in the high school, you be required to teach maybe chemistry, biology, physics, or even computer science. Then you may be an English teacher. I wrote social studies teachers because the teachers here who teach history, geography are called social studies teachers, but maybe you may be employed to teach history or American history. Then we have special education teachers. We also have early childhood education that teach in Kenya we call them nursery schools, but here they are called early childhood schools or kindergarten schools. Now you need to have a teaching experience of only 2 years. You need to have a driver's license, and driver's experience I think is also only 2 years, and you need to have a valid passport. So actually the qualifications here are not so hard to achieve. I think most Kenyan teachers, especially those who are teaching in the high school, have these qualifications, and maybe the only thing they are lacking now is the driver's license, but some of them have a driver's license and experience, and maybe the only thing they are lacking maybe is a valid passport, but I'm sure there are people also with valid passports. So those are the basic qualifications. Now let's see now what are the benefits. Now the benefits here are very good, because one of the main thing that is amounting to anybody thinking of leaving their country is how to attain their visa. Now they have visa sponsorship. Now, if you're going to apply through these firms, you get a visa that we call J1. It's an exchange visitor visa. Now, exchange visitor who is allowed to work here. So they will sponsor you for the visa. Now, they apply to the American immigration departments, and they say they are sponsoring for a visa. So they pay part of almost the visa fee. The only visa fee you pay is the one that you apply, the application you make to the embassy, which it cannot be compared to the amount of money they pay for your visa. So I want to call it visa sponsorship. They also place you in a school, okay? You don't take a flight and come to America not knowing where you are coming to work. They place you in a school. Actually, before even your visa is sponsored, they help you sign a contract with one of the school districts. Now, school districts in America can be compared to the county education director's office in Kenya, because I know Kenya now we call what county director education office. Now, they also help you in immigration process. For example, some of the farms pay for the flight. Now, I talked about myself. The first agency I mentioned, their Faces. Faces will sponsor you for your documents processing, and they'll pay for your flight, and they'll identify somebody who will help you even find an apartment here. They help you find an apartment. Faces will also help you purchase a car. Okay, they'll not give you the money to purchase a car, but they can guarantee you so that you can buy a car on credit. Remember, when you come into America, you don't have any credit records here, but they'll do that. They'll ensure you settle down. Now, the salary ranges from about $3,000 per month. That is for zero teaching experience. Now, 3,000 is approximately 300,000 Kenya shillings or more. So it means if you have more teaching, the more the teaching experience you have, the higher the salary you're going to earn. Now, the visa includes your immediate family. That includes your spouse and your children. So once you land here, Faces will facilitate your family and your children to join you in a minimum of 6 weeks, because they also write documents they make documents for your spouse and for your children. So if you have children below 21 and you are married, Faces will ensure that they facilitate their movement from Kenya to here. So I think now that's a good offer. Now, the other farms also do the same. The only difference with the other farms is that I don't think they pay for the air ticket, but everything else, like organizing how you land here, how you get an apartment, they all do that. But the only thing they don't do is that they do not pay the air ticket like the Faces do. So I think those are the benefits. And maybe you want to ask me, if you're earning 300,000 Kenya shillings, how much you're going to save. Definitely your life is going to be comfortable. And of course, you're going to help family home. And I think depending on your spending, you're going to save something. Now, there are other ways of moving to the US as a teacher through H-1B. Now, H-1B is a visa that is offered through the organization that hires you. So the school districts may hire you. For example, right now, I know 2 teachers who are coming to the place I'm teaching, and they are being hired by my school district directly through H-1B. Now, how did this happen? Now, these 2 teachers applied through Faces in the first place. Now, Faces approved the application, but because the Faces visas have been exhausted, Faces, these farms, these agencies have a cap. They're given a cap by the American government. They're given a number of visas every year. So they have a limit of the number of visas they can issue every year. So by the time these 2 teachers' interviews were approved, Faces has exhausted their cap of visas. So these 2 teachers applied directly to our school district. Now, the school district interviewed them and approved their application. So the school district offered to sponsor them for a different visa, which we call H-1B. Now, the difference between the H-1B visa and the agency visa, that is a J-1 visa, is that now this one you need to apply first for what we call state certification. Now, state certification may require you to sit for some tests, like in South Carolina, teachers to sit for tests they call Praxis. Now, Praxis is available in Nairobi for your information. Praxis is available in Nairobi. Now, these 2 teachers have passed the test and their documents are being processed. Now, we hope they're going to join the school district by early January. So it means this is another path where you can apply to work in America as a teacher. Now, that means applying directly to the school district. Now, the school district can be compared to the Kenya County Education offices. And once interviewed and hired, you'll be sponsored for the H-1B. So I want to say this, I want to repeat this and talk about the difference between the two visas. I talked about J1 visa sponsored opportunities, and I finished by talking about H1 visa sponsored opportunities. Now, J1 is an exchange visa. It's the easiest visa you can get because you will not be required to apply for certification from Kenya. You'll not be required to do the test. So this is the easiest thing you can do. You'll only be required to have your Bachelor of Education degree, maybe the driver's license, and you'll be required to have your passport, and you'll be required to have some teaching experience in the subjects I've mentioned. So if you do this, you go direct to these sites and apply, put in your documents. They'll keep asking you for documents, and the main documents they're going to ask you is your Bachelor of Education degree certificate and your degree certificate, that is transcripts, a copy of your driver's license, a copy of your passport, and any other personal information. So once you do that, they are going to organize for an interview. No, they don't. Some of the firms like TPG organizes, I think, organize for an interview. EPI will organize for an interview. Now, Global Teaching Partners will do the same. But I think FACES is still not doing the direct interview. FACES will send you questions, questions that you can prepare for. FACES will send you questions, and they will ask you to respond to those questions and record yourself on a video, through a video, and send them a clip of that video. They'll ask you to send them that video. You see, that's easy. Somebody gives you the questions, ask you to prepare for those questions, and ask you to respond to those questions, and you record yourself, which means chances of passing this interview are very high. So once they do that and approve your interview, they are going to the next step to verify your education qualifications. So they take you step by step, and they are very straightforward. They don't have a go between. There's nobody between FACES and you. You just need to go to their site, and they'll be communicating to you through their site. The other firms will do the same. TPG will be communicating to you through their sites. Right now, I think I know about over 70 teachers who are coming through these firms. And last year, I think Kenya took so many teachers through these 4 firms I'm talking about. So they are very direct. They'll communicate to you through their site and through email. They'll not go through anybody, and nobody will ask you for any money. The only money you will spend is for your passport. The only money you may spend is maybe to apply for your driver's license. And the only money you may spend is maybe when you land here, because of course, once you get your visa, FACES and the other firms will tell you, now you've qualified, you're flying to America, you need some money, maybe to settle down, maybe to buy a car. But when you get there, we can say you'll cross the bridge when you get there. So I think I've discussed enough. So I say those are the firms. The qualifications is Bachelor of Education, teaching experience is at least 2 years, driver's license is needed, and experience, valid passport. Then what are the benefits? You get visa sponsorship. You don't have to figure out, where am I going to apply for this visa? How am I going to apply? You get placement. You don't have to find the job. They'll place you into a school. You sign your contract when you are still in Kenya. They'll assist in immigration. They will help you book a flight, find an apartment, buy a car. Now, the salary is about 3,000. That is in South Carolina. In other states, it's higher. I think South Carolina may have one of the lowest pays, but it is still good for a start. Now, the visa includes your immediate family, that is your spouse and your children. Now, the other ways I've talked about is the applying directly to the district, where they will sponsor you for a H1B. And as I'm talking, I'm saying I have evidence they are doing this. Right now, they are sponsoring 2 teachers in my district through H1B. One of them is teaching math, the other one is going to teach science in the high school. So I am going to stop sharing, and then maybe you can ask questions. So Makiadi, maybe they have questions, and they can type their questions on the chat.
Okay, thank you so much, Julia. In fact, there's one thing I wanted you to clarify. I was listening to what you're saying. The exam that you're talking about, you said it is available in Kenya. How much does it cost? Where do you find it? Can you give a little bit of information about that exam?
Okay, the praxis test is $120. That is about 12,000 Kenya shillings plus. And then when you book it online, and then you sit for it in Nairobi. For now, they are always offering it in Nairobi. Once you book, they'll identify the place for you. They'll tell you where the place and the address. And then I just learned something which is interesting, that because we don't come from an English speaking country, we get something called accommodation. So we get 1.5 time extra of their
Uh,
medical teachers. Like if the test is 3 hours, you may get 4 hours plus.
but do you have to disclose, or just by the
You,
nature
you
of?
have you have to disclose and let your principal sign that English is not your first language, and you send the document to the organization Praxis, but you send it online. You attach it online. You make for the application online. And this test, Makiadi, is the things we teach. For example, I'm a math teacher. Is the high school math. Okay, it includes 2 tests. One is teaching methods. The other test is a content area. So because I'm a math teacher, I would sit for the teaching methods test, and then I will teach for the content area. Content area is the math that we teach. For example, I'm a math high school teacher. Is a content high school math. So it's an easier way, because it's not an easier way, but I'm saying it's also another way of applying. I mean, working in America, and I think that one somebody stands a higher chances. You know why I'm saying this? These 2 teachers, Makia, did applied with faces. In fact, I want to answer that person. Someone applied for faces 4 months ago and was told that they only require science teachers. Yes, so it's an easier way, because sometimes you may apply with faces, and faces has a bank of teachers. Okay, because what faces does, Makiadi and the other firms, they interview teachers and have them in their bank. So when the DCs are looking for the teachers, they float their teachers. So the district begins selecting, nataka Makiadi ama staki Julia, nataka Julia staki Makiadi. Lakini by the time the district are selected, Faces has approved your application. It means you're a good teacher, but you may not be selected by the district. So what these teachers did, this teacher had applied, I think, in 2020 or some 2021, and his details were with the Faces for some time. Then I asked him and the other teacher, can you apply directly to a district? So they went to the site, they filled their information, and the district saw, wow, we have international teachers applying here. They contacted them. When they contacted them, they informed the district that we have already applied for Faces, but Faces has not shortlisted us for hiring. Now, the district contacted Faces, and Faces said, yes, we would have floated these teachers, but we do not have enough visas now. They got to wait until January. So the district said, no, we are not waiting until January. We will sponsor these 2 teachers on H1B. So that is when I learned that even districts can hire teachers through H1B. That it is only that the district don't know that the teachers are out there. You see, this district do not know which teachers are out there. Okay, but Faces and the agencies know that the teachers are out there. We are collecting their data. So that is how it works. So the test is in Nairobi. The test is available in Nairobi.
Okay, so you've talked about H1B, and I also heard you talk about J1 visa, right?
Yes.
Now, there's a friend of ours here. Let me just go to the questions, beginning from the first one. I think this was Judy Mudhoni, who says, to teach primary, in high school, don't you have to be a certified teacher, particularly in special education, math, English, and social studies?
So to teach primary, to teach high school, to teach even kindergarten, first and foremost, you have to have a Bachelor of Education in that particular subject. For example, to teach primary school, maybe social studies, you must have a Bachelor of Education. And I think primary school teachers teach, I think they teach history and government or something. I don't know what they teach. But you must have a Bachelor of Education. That is first and foremost. You must have a Bachelor of Education. So here, I know Kenya, we have P1 teachers, but even if you are teaching in primary school, you must have a Bachelor of Education. That is what they require as long for you to apply. I don't know whether I've answered that.
I think what she wanted to know is, should you be a certified teacher? But I think you answered it very correctly in terms of the first qualification. I don't think you can be certified if you're in Kenya. That's what
No, 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 no. Okay, certification doesn't apply for teachers who are working as exchange under J1. They get what they call international certification, and the agencies process that certification. So any teacher who is going to be hired through these agencies is going to work under what we call international certification. However, if you decide to apply directly to the district, is when you must apply for certification. And what do you require for certification? You require for certification. You require, for example, let me use South Carolina. You need to apply for the praxis test, and praxis test is not only subjected to foreign teachers, Makiadi. Even the American teachers have to do the praxis test. Even when they have done their bachelor's wherever, they have to come back and do the praxis test. And the results last for 10 years. I am told it is 10 years. So once 10 years are over, it expires, you got to do again. So the certification and the praxis is for everybody, even those who are American teachers. So if you're in Kenya and you are thinking of working under the district, you need to apply for certification right from Kenya. However, the easiest way is to apply through FACES. FACES, if you work under the agencies, that's a different visa now. Remember, I'm saying you can work with 2 visas, J1 visa or H1B. So J1 visa, you don't have to worry about certification. The only condition, you have to have a Bachelor of Education.
Okay.
Yes.
So that's Judy. I think umepata jibu yako. Kuna Poizagi anauliza interested, how can I apply? I think Julia has said she will provide the links after this show. You'll see the links in the comment section. There's Kisoi Evans anasema, what if I have been driving with a temporary license, or I have been driving for the last 2 years without a license and currently have acquired one? So I don't know, Kisoi, if are you a teacher? We are not clear on that. Are you a teacher? Do you have a bachelor's degree and your issue is only with a driving license? I don't know. Maybe you might want to clarify that before Julia, jumps in and answers that. Now, someone that's Lillian, I think umeuliza, someone applied FACES 4 months ago and was told they only require science subjects. I think Julia, you might want to emphasize on why they actually prefer science as science teachers as compared to the others.
Okay, yeah, someone applied for, actually they prefer math and sciences, but sometimes they even hire English teachers or even social studies, because I thought so, Makiadi, when I applied, I was hired as a math and science. And then I went to their site, they were saying math and science. But when we met here, I saw social studies teachers from Jamaica. I met with social studies teachers from Jamaica who was hired the same year with me. So that tells me that it means they can hire anything. I mean, not anything, they can hire any subject apart from Swahili and Christian religious education. So if you are teaching geography, history, you apply the social studies teacher. They won't hire for CRE, they don't have CRE, and they don't have Swahili. So I think another thing, the links I'm going to send, that person who applied for FACES should also try the other links. Maketi, there are teachers who applied with FACES, and apparently FACES became so popular in Kenya after my last presentation with Mutembei. So what happened is that there were so many applications. So those same teachers, we introduced them to TPG and the others, and TPG took so many teachers also from Kenya. So yani sio lazima mtu Julia alienda kwa FACES, sasa wewe kwa FACES. And I'm also talking about these 2 teachers who applied through FACES, and they thought that the application got stuck in FACES. Then I advised them to apply directly to the district. Of course, it appeared as an uphill task because the district interviewed them, yes, and qualified them. But the district now wanted them to do the praxis tests. Na hata mimi Makiadi, first nilikuwa nafikiria, this is hard. How are they going to do the praxis test? And we found that the praxis is offered in Nairobi. So once they book the praxis, they did the praxis in Nairobi. And now their documents have been processed. So a journey of 1,000 miles starts with a single step. So if somebody applied through FACES 3 months ago and was told they only hired science teachers, I am posting links here. Apply to all those firms. You don't lose anything by applying. There's nothing you lose. It's not a waste of time. And I'm telling you, some of the farms will shortlist you. You see, and if you are shortlisted by a farm that is not so popular, these farms wako na seniority. Kuna wale unajua kuna wale wamekalia wengine kama I think Faces commands really South Carolina schools. So it means these other small farms will be more outgoing in finding jobs for their teachers than the one that is popular. So I have 4 farms. I'm going to present their links here. So please try and apply, share with your friends so that you make sure. I mean, one of them is going to call you for in fact, one thing I know, all of them are going to call you for an interview, but 1 or 2 is going to help you find a job, because right now, this country, especially the South, Makiadi, they need teachers like nobody's business. They just wish they could go to Africa and carry all those teachers and bring them here. The problem is how to get those teachers and how to get them documents. And I don't know, Judy is saying something that I don't know. You come umesema maswali ya Judy, to teach in primary and high school, don't you have to be a certified teacher, particularly in special education, math? Judy, again, certification, if you're an international teacher, is a Bachelor of Education. If you are going to work here through J1 visa, that is the only requirement that you need.
Yeah, and I think sorry for the echo. I think you also emphasized that there's a process. You talked about there's a process where the agency will try to process your documents through. I don't know. I can't remember the name of the exam that you said. I think she's trying to point out that there is another process apart from the bachelor's degree that requires you probably to undergo some form of testing to show that actually you are really qualified for that job. So I think that is what she's trying to.
Okay, yes, it's not a testing. They verify your documents. They ask you send your documents to a body called Spantram. Okay, we have like West. You know about West Makiadi, World Education Services. We also have Spantram, is under the same bodies where they verify your documents. Now, in this case, they ask you to send your documents to Spantram, and they only do so after they have interviewed you and they have qualified your interview. They have approved your interview. Why they do so? That's the last step, because at that point you're gonna spend some money. Faces get subsidized rates with Spantram. The last time we did, I think it was $150. Now, if they employ you, if you are hired, they will refund you that money. They refund you that money, Makiadi, once you land here. If they employ you. So it's not a waste of resources. So verification of your documents is through Spantram for Faces. I don't know whether the others use West. They may be using West. If you're going to use West, that is World Education Services, you still pay. And I think even if you're applying to come to college in the US, Makiadi, you still have to have your documents verified.
Yeah. So what I know is if you're applying for education in the US, any university in the US, as an international student, there's no communication in terms of sending the documents from you to the school. So what happens is they communicate. There's 2 schools communicate, and so they send. I can call it a sealed document. So you have no opportunity to go in there and check what is in the document. So the process is still the same. Your documents will be verified, but there is no place where you'll have a hard copy at unasema wewe unaingiza hiyo document kwa bahasha utume kwa shule ya mahali popote huko America ndio waende kuverify. So you are always cut in between that communication whereby the papers have to be verified. Hakuna mahali uta produce document. It is done for you, but obviously you have to cough some money so that the process is complete.
You have to cough some money. And okay, Faces, I kind of want to think they make things easier for the teachers, Makiadi, because Spantram, any case, Spantram only wants digital copies. In fact, from you, digital copies. I found that easy because West won't do that. West won't allow you to do that. West would require the documents from your university. But even though Faces and Spantram will do that, they demand direct contact to your university and your ID and all that. which means they are also careful that you don't give them fake documents.
Yeah,
I think
exactly.
they're careful. Yeah, they are also careful. Besides, even though they may allow you to send the digital copies to them, I think there's a way they make sure. Like for example, if you say you're employed by the Teacher Service Commission, they may go out on their way to contact the human resource officers, the Teacher Service Commission, to find out your details.
Okay.
So yeah, so I think they are also very careful. So I don't know whether I've answered Judy.
Yeah, I think that's well answered. Now let me move on to the next question. I think there's a person here also, Judith Awinja Nauliza, and for diploma holders. I think those are diploma holders, teachers with a diploma. Any chances? She says that I think she's still doing her degree. So are there any chances for diploma holders?
No, they will only employ you if you have a degree, a Bachelor of Education. Yeah.
Okay, that's answered. We move on to Mildred Wesonga. Mildred Wesonga wants to know, what about if you are a lecturer in the university?
Okay, if you're a lecturer in the university, it means first and foremost you have a Bachelor of Education. Okay, even if, okay, let me say this, you may not have a Bachelor of Education to be a lecturer in Kenya. So if you don't have a Bachelor of Education, I mean, the condition here, whether you are a lecturer or you're teaching in the high school or in primary school, you must have a Bachelor of Education degree. I mean, it must need Bachelor of Education. And if I'm teaching math, it must show me that I have the minimum units to teach math. Otherwise, I'll not be qualified to teach math in their schools.
Okay, so I don't know. I don't know. That was a very alarming statement. The one you said that you do not need, you might not need a bachelor's degree to teach in the universities of Kenya. I don't know. Ni kama ile
Yeah,
akili.
the professors in the university don't have to have a Bachelor of Education. They teach. They
Oh,
see.
okay. I see
Yes,
what you mean. Education, just a
yes,
part. Okay,
education.
I see
They
what
have
you.
bachelors, they have done their masters, they have done doctorates, but they may not have studied a Bachelor of Education degree.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you for
Mhm.
clarifying. I thought hii ni ile story ya makaratasi gushi.
They have the papers, but I think the professors,
It
I think even
depends.
the
Sorry.
professors, because I think, Matari, if you can remember, most of our professors, I think the ones in the math, did not have a Bachelor of Education, but they were professors because they had done maybe a BSc math, and then they did a master's in the same area, then they did a doctorate. So they are now professors in the university, but they did not have a Bachelor of Education degree. So even if you have a PhD and you don't have a Bachelor of Education degree, it means what they are saying, you need to be a trained teacher. A trained teacher.
Okay, I think that's well answered. Stone PK nimekuona karibu sana. We are discussing opportunities za walimu in the US, and I think Julia's done a presentation here, a very nice presentation, PowerPoint presentation, and so we are taking the questions as we continue. Ninaona maswali inaendelea kuingia. Kuna mtu hapa ambaye anasema Amolo anasema, I'm a professional plumber, can I get advert for a job? Anasema hana kazi ya plumber. I don't know if Julia can answer that. That might be a bit tricky for Julia. But I just want to point out that if you're a professional plumber and you have the papers that prove that, I would want to point you to the direction of Canada. Plumbers are very, very much in demand, and they earn a lot of money, pesa mingi sana. So tafadhali, Amolo, kuna ukifuata hizo comments pale juu, kuna website ambayo nimeandika pale www.jmlawoffice.ca. Tafadhali tumia how a work ticket, a ticket hapo waulize maneno ya plumbers, but I can assure you plumbers, welders, masons, au watu ni watu ambao wanatakikana sana 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 tena sana, especially if you have some form of training from technical college in Kenya. Tafadhali angalia hiyo. Now let me move on to Charity Faustine, I hope nimetamka jina yako sawa sawa, anasema interested and thanks for information. My question is the $3,000 enough money to help take care of my family in case I come with them, since we don't know how expensive life is there? Now, I think I'll push that to Julia, and I think Julia, you'll answer that with regards to life in South Carolina.
Yes, yeah, $3,000 is on the lower end. It's I was talking about South Carolina. Now, most likely other states pay more than that. So why it is lower? I think even here the cost of living here, Makiadi, is low, because I think when I came here, we were paying an apartment of 1 bedroom like $600, which means your rent ilikuwa inaenda. I mean, you could do with $1,000 to pay your bills, blah 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 blah, even buy some groceries. I mean, with around, you could just spend like $2,000 for your bills and everything. I mean, mtu hasoti sana Kisoi. Kwani ninaka kama nimesota? Mtu hasoti sana. I mean, you can, let me say this, Kisoi. If you want to know whether someone is doing well, is when they can pay their ticket back home and do their stuff, take kids to school. That's how I can say. But I can assure you, Kisoi, your life will never be the same again. That's a fact.
I want also to mention something. I think Julia mentioned here in the beginning that if you apply and you have a spouse, you have a family, they will also be facilitated to join you. I believe that when you get to the US and you have a family and you have a H1B, unless Julia, you can correct me, or a J1 visa, your spouse will also be facilitated to get a work permit. Unless I'm wrong, Julia,
Yeah,
I stand to be corrected.
For the J1s, I'm not sure about the H1B, but for J1s, they get a work permit, even children. My son worked a lot in Walmart before he went to college. And at times I used to think he has more money than I have, because alikuwa anachukua hiyo masaa extra. Unaona au vijana Makiadi, unaona they really access those extra hours and work overtime. So your spouse, even you are above 18 kids who are not in school, will work. So life will never be the same again, I can promise you.
Yeah, so Charity, umesikia hivyo, kuna work permit inapewaga spouses, and it's not just for these type of visas. I think if you talk to people who have spouses that work for maybe NGOs and they move to the US, that's also possible. You can get a work permit na uweze kusaidiwa pia na familia yako, but what I can say is this: $3,000 in the US, there are states that are very expensive, especially the likes of New York and the rest, but there are other states that are very very affordable. You can do with 3,000 and ulipe bills zako zote, ulipe nyumba, you pay everything and you ubaki na some change, na hiyo some change si mbaya sana. You can do 1 2 3 back at home, so usiogope, hiyo pesa umesikia si mbaya sana, especially with inflation right now. 3,000, I was doing the math on the side here. Let me see if I'm right. So Julia, we are talking about $3,000 times 121 exchange rate, so that money is 363,000 Kenyan shillings. I think unalipwa karibu ufikie PS wa Kenya. So that's very good money. You can do a lot, and like Julia told you here, it all depends with how you want to spend your money. If you ukitaka kuishi mzuri zaidi na usisave, everything is there for you. It all depends with your priorities. If you want to spend little, save and do something else on the side, pia ni sawasawa, inategemea na mipango yako ya pesa. Now, let me move on to Peter K. Matumbi, anauliza, I'm a technician and also a plant operator. Advise me on how to get a job. I want to address you, Peter K. Matumbi. Plant operator ni mtu ambaye ana operate mashini, Julia, as hizi mashini kubwa kubwa. Akina anaweza operate tractor, all these others, the farm equipment and all that. There's construction. Those are all called plants, whatever, machinery. Peter, tuliongea last time tukasema kuna nafasi za watu wa kuendesha haya matingatinga kwa mashamba and all that. I think our lawyers told us that, and these people are in demand. Na what we can advise you is go to that website, andikia these guys a ticket, waambie unataka kujua more about plant operators and stuff like that, na watakusaidia. Canada, US kwa saa hizi sijasikia, lakini tukisikia tutakuletea huo ujumbe. Amolo tumesema mambo ya plumbing, tafadhali fuata the same route, ongea na our guys in Canada. Ignatius Mandera anasema ako na dada yake who is a teacher, kindly give us the procedure on how to apply. I think Ignatius utarudi, you'll play this video back after we are done. Hata saa hii I think unaweza pull it back kidogo tu, utasikia maelezo ambayo yamepeanwa hapo, lakini ile kitu ambayo tutahakikisha tumekupatia ni link baada ya hiki kipindi, then you can follow that link. I think all the steps are in there, Julia, kama sijakosea.
Nimetuma some links there, they can see the links, they can apply. I mean, some links nimetuma hapo where they can make applications.
Yeah, so there are links there. Ignatius, tafadhali fuata hizo links. Na pia tulikuwa tunajaribu kusema ya kwamba walimu sana sana ambao kwa sasa wanachukuliwa ni walimu wa hesabu, sayansi, mambo ya computer. Umesema computer science, Julia, right?
Yes, computer science.
Yeah, and stuff kwa America wanaita STEM subjects. So that's science, yes, technology, engineering and math. Hizo ni classes ambazo zinauza sana, so walimu wanatakikana kwa sana. Davis AC anasema I'm a P1 teacher and I have a bachelor's degree in history and CRE. Do I qualify? Perhaps you can take that, Julia.
Yes, faces may tell you they want math and science teachers, but nimetuma links hapo. If you see kuna TPG, kuna EPI, kuna Global Teaching Partners, Teachers Partners. So just apply in those sites and apply the social studies teacher. See historia, just apply social studies teacher. Alafu we uko na bachelor's, weka hiyo experience yako ya primary school and you see how it goes. If you have a Bachelor of Education degree, let's see how it goes. You never know. One of the agencies will reply to you and they'll take you through some interviews and you may never know Makiadis. I mean, there's no harm in trying. Though they are saying, physics is saying math, science, maybe sometimes they take English teachers, but just go ahead and try.
Aya, sawa. Let me move on to the next. Ni Kisoi anasema my wife is a nurse with a certificate from KMTC. Can she get a job? Kisoi, I think there's a time we talked about nurses here. Those are hotcakes. Wanataki, yani everybody, all countries are scrambling for nurses, my brother Kisoi. Hata sahi ungekuwa unaongea namna hiyo, there's a group that was supposed to be coming to Kenya. I think, was it, what date was it?
They already came. It was November, and I even posted a link here. They are coming to interview nurses in Kenya, and I think we shall look for the link, Makiadi, and send to people to apply.
Yeah, I can't remember the name of the farm, but Kisoi, let me tell you, nurses, everybody is looking for nurses. Hata si America peke yake or something. Everybody out there is looking for nurses. The process might be a little bit tedious because kuna a lot of exams pale, lakini definitely I know of people, myself ninajua watu ambao wametoka Kenya, nurses from KMTC to be specific, ambao walilipiwa kila kitu. Hivyo tu tunasema kila kitu na wanafanya kazi sahihi. Wako wengine wako Britain, wengine wako US na wengine wako Canada. So nurses are hotcake. In fact, the time that COVID kicked in, wakati COVID ilianza, nurses walikuwa wanatafutwa, hata ungekuja kuchukuliwa kwa nyumba na ulipiwe ndege. So right now at least COVID ilipungua kidogo, nurses they are still in demand, very very highly demanded by, wakona in demand na hizi countries zote tatu. And what I can tell you is they are earning good money, very very good money. They are really paid very well. Ndush anauliza kwamba what are the opportunities for sports? I don't know, Julia, sports.
Okay, I don't know what sports, because I want to talk about teachers. Maybe PE teachers. I don't know.
I don't know also. Ndush mambo ya sports sijajua sana. Probably somebody will identify your talent from Kenya. I've seen students get scholarships especially basketball, riadha, watu wa kukimbia sana na other sports, watu wanapata scholarships za kuja kusoma. That one it has to go through the university. I don't know, Stone PK, umewaisikia watu wa sports? Labda unaweza kuwa hujasikia, but sports labda scholarship I don't.
There's sports scholarship. There are lots of them. I know, especially people from Rift Valley. They know that. They know those links, how they get those scholarships here. For when you, especially when you're nakimbia sana, there are lots of scholarships for sports. Makiadi ni vile hatuna habari.
Yeah, hiyo tunaweza kutafutia. Brother Benson, good to see you. Kwa comment section unasema H1B visas, the spouses will get work permit. So that confirms what we are saying here.
Okay, got you.
H1B ukiwa nayo hata spouse wako atapata permit. Onyango Major anasema I'm a trained security officer, trained and certified by one of the Kenya government training schools, currently working with the government as a security officer, NPS, National Police Service, I believe. I would like to go and work in the USA. Is it possible? I don't know, Julia or PK, if you can take that. Working in the USA as a security officer, police service training background. Any information?
No, not that I know. Maybe PK.
PK, sauti imekukataa leo.
Na sasa.
Uko sawa?
Good to see you, Julie and Richie. Yeah, I remember when the team from Canada presented, they gave that opportunity for police recruitment, but I can't remember them mentioning about security. But he could apply as a police officer, because I hear in Canada they are really employing policemen. Maybe that's what I can tell him. I remember they talked of security. They talked of police officers. Sasa huyo ako trained security, maybe anaweza kujaribu hiyo ya police. There's nothing wrong with the try.
And what they can do, these people, Makiadi, these people, this link Makiadi is posting, NPK, about those lawyers. You know something, they may say they are charging, but the fact that they are on the ground in Canada, wanaweza kutafutia hata kuwa security officer kwa hizo those supermarkets and all that stuff, even cleaning. The fact that they can get you a cleaning job in Canada, just take your flight, go and clean and get your permanent residency. After that unaweza amua sitafagia tena, ama nilienda college fanya hivi, I will do what I went to college to do. That's the point. So there's a link Makiadi is posting here frequently. Get in touch with those lawyers. You better even sign an agreement with them. You know, somebody may ask you to spend some. When I came here, when I was sponsored by Faces Makiadi, one of the things they required me to do, okay, first the application looks easy. It's actually easy. I applied in January, and then I applied in around January. March, I was sending documents. I think by the end of March, I was done with April. I was done with the interview. And they said, Julia, we liked your interview. We approved your application. And then they said, they said, okay, Julia, send your documents to Spectrum to be verified. So, kwanza ilinipea stress, because they're asking me nilipe $150. That was about 15,000, 16,000 Kenya shillings, Stone PK. Na mimi ni Mkenya. Na nilipe with my debit card, KCB. Now, when I went to use my KCB card, the case people are like, uko sure you're not being conned? Even me, seriously, I was thinking I was being conned. Seriously. So when I paid my money, I paid and I went and changed my card, because I said, how on earth can I go to the internet and fix my details of my card and pay a cool 15,000 Kenya shillings? And Faces is telling me, yes, Kenya wangu, naona you to your risk. Now, I'm not looking at what I may gain with the risk, okay? So I paid, and Spectrum got my documents, and Faces informed me they needed time to contact my university to make sure what I sent is correct. So even though I gave them digital documents, they have a way of contacting my senior universities to find out, is this Julia, are these her documents, are these her qualifications? So within a week, they were done. They verified and they gave me the American grading. You see, they sent back my documents. So now I have my documents. My interview has been approved by Faces. Then Faces writes to me and tells me that, Julia, do not quit your job. Wait until you're hired. So 2 weeks later, they get back to me. They say, this district is willing to hire you. Can you please sign their contract? I'm still weighing them. Bado naona kama kuna ugushi hapa pale na pale. Kwanza ninaumwa, pesa yangu 15,000 nimepeana pahali. So I'm now looking at maybe I lost my money or something. But after I signed the contract, this is when the reality dawned on me, Stone. After I signed the contract, Faces now was on the move. They said, Julia, we want you to fly in by July, end of July. But can you book your interview now with the embassy? But you see, for me to book now those things you have to figure out. First, Makiadi, sijai apply American visa. So I have to figure out how to book the interview. Then going to the interview, I need to find out which kind of visa I need. So going to book the interview, I see that I'm applying for J1 visa and I need a document called DS 2019 from Faces. I need a hard copy document from them. And they're asking me, it's a Thursday, they're asking me, can you book your interview next week? I don't have the document. So they said, no, you give us your address. I was living in Motira Gauss. I give them my address. They say, we know where your address is. Book the interview now. These are the details of your documents. We'll send the hard copies. You'll have them by Monday. And for sure, I did that to do my interview on the Tuesday. And on Monday morning, I met with a security man from G4S, kwa geti ya shule, amebeba hizo documents hivi. Wananiongelesha hapa between Thursday and Friday. Na ameniambia, book the interview. You will have your documents before you go for your visa interview. So I booked my visa interview on Tuesday. I get my documents on Monday before Tuesday. I go for my visa interview on Tuesday. And they are now texting me left and right. Julia, tell us if you get your visa, if your visa is approved. Now, this is another stage that you have to be careful, because before I applied for my visa, they are chatting with me. They are telling me, you must tell them you have family. You must tell them you have property. You must convince them that you're going back to Kenya. You're not going to stay forever. Lazima wakwambie hizo story. Lazima hizo story utilie mkazo. So I go for my visa interview and I'm approved. And I text them. I'm in Nairobi, Markedi. I'm texting them. And I text them. They say, Julia, we have booked your flight. You are flying on July. Hata sijaigia matatu nirudi Kirinyaga. Nimewatext, nimepata visa. They send me a copy of the flight ticket. We have booked your flight. We are flying on July 22nd. So these processes, my conclusion is there are risks involved. Ni risk kama kuambiwa ulipe pesa kwa Spantram na hujui kama utachukuliwa na shule. Those are risks that we must take in life. You know, we must take these risks in life. So when I look back at how much I was terrified using my debit card, and now I look at myself now, Makiadi, I can say it was worth the risks. You see, the risks were worth. It was worth taking those. So hizo ndio vitu utaambiwa. Like now we are telling you to apply for a passport. You cannot be thinking of going abroad if you don't have a passport. And we are asking you to look for a driver's license. I think everybody else here, okay, Makiadi, I don't know where you are. Maybe mko na basi, mko na train. Here, literally in South Carolina, there are no trains, there are no buses, especially where I'm living. So everybody needs a car. And I mean, the story is long. I'll be sharing with it to the family of Mutembei later. But I'm saying there are risks involved and we must take these risks.
Right, naona brother Benson pia amelanda hapa, karibu sana. I think hata utatusaidia na maoni tukiendelea. So security guard tumesema last time tuliambiwa kuna police officers wanatakikana sana Canada. There was a link that was given with, by one of our panelists, Mise. I don't think we have it right now, but alipiana link. Give me the website. Major Generali nimeweka hapo link. Check. Hiyo imeandikwa www.jmlawoffice.ca. Hiyo ndio link. You can create a ticket. Ukiclick website yao, on the bottom right utaona kuna an open whatever, unajaza majina yako hapo, details zako na unawatumia. Then they can get back to you. Ignatius Mandela anasema, what if she has not done those subjects but she but has qualified. I think anaongea juu ya zile subjects. I think we have exhausted on the subjects that we wanted to address today, especially tumesema STEM, science,
Yes,
technology.
same subjects. But what if she applies? It only costs her a few coins go to the cyber, because if she has a Bachelor of Education, if she has social studies, she has English. I mean, she may not have math and science. She has English, social studies. The only thing that Ignitia she cannot be hired for is for Swahili and CRE. Hakuna haja ya kusema iko, hakuna hawajui CRE ni nini, hawafundishi Swahili. But anything else that is taught in school, someone can apply, you never know.
Okay, Coach Edwin anasema I'm a diploma holder in architecture. Where can I fall into? Currently, I'm finalizing another diploma.
Okay, they don't go for diploma holders. They strictly stick to bachelor's holders, and specifically Bachelor of Education.
Bachelor of Education. So Coach, I think tunaongea juu ya opportunities teachers. I don't know, maybe well, if you have a diploma in architecture and you think you might have a bit of resources somewhere, I would advise you to seek probably to study in one of the universities abroad. I think we had a couple of colleges in Canada that were posted here. You can look for one of them. Their terms are very good. I think you can fit in one of those and then probably have some work hours. Unafanya kazi kidogo na unasoma. But there was a list last time. Tafuta your video kwa YouTube. I think the title was Opportunities in Canada. I think kitu kama hiyo. Enda tu kwa Motembei TV uangalie list. We did it on Saturday last week. That was on 12th. November. So tafadhali enda uangalie hiyo video. It's not a very long video, and I think it will give you a lot of information on education. Judy anasema Motembei, in future please invite successful Kenyans living in Kenya. I think alikuwa anasema successful Kenyans probably living in the US or whatever, to address and teach Kenyans how to access opportunities that are in Kenya. Did I get that right? Motembei TV, in future, please invite successful Kenyans living in Kenya to address and teach Kenyans how to access opportunities that are in Kenya. Okay, we will do that.
Successful Kenyans teaching opportunities in Kenya are available on the TSC website. That is one. And then the TSC always advertise jobs on the newspaper. But the best thing you can do is to access their websites and find out what jobs they have. But usually, Judy, I think any person looking for a job in Kenya should just search the schools. Because what happens, Makia, this is how I've been in Kenya for a long time, Judy, even when TSC began applying directly through the board. What happens is that the schools inform TSC, we need teachers in this area. However, TSC does not does not necessarily hire teachers for those areas, but usually, occasionally, TSC will advertise those jobs on the newspapers and say, for example, Kilauea Boys High School, we are hiring a math teacher, a chemistry teacher. This high school, this primary school. So that is how they apply. I mean, there's no big trick, Judy. It's just that you have to be updated with what TSC is posting, unless you're talking about jobs hired by Board of Management. BOM jobs, you just have to approach specific schools and find out what they are applying. And unfortunately, Makiadi, schools are yet to embrace the use of the internet, so even their websites may not be so active, or you just have to keep calling and asking. Hata kwa website ya TSC sidhani wako na bidii sana ya advertise those jobs, but somehow every year you'll see adverts on the newspaper.
Okay, but I think we noted, that's well noted, and I'm not talking about teaching, I'm talking about successful Kenyans in general. Okay, thank you. I don't know how we rate success in Kenya, but I would love to have an opportunity to have one of those people, the so-called successful Kenyans, wakuje watupatie mradi watupatie plot ya vile walifanya ndio wakafika mahali walifanya. I don't know, Judy, if you have one you can refer to us. We will really appreciate kama kuna mmoja ambaye unajua anaweza jitolea kuja kutueleza vile alifanya. Benson.
Hata Julia is successful. Success is something that is very gradual. You cannot start kind of like quantify like so and so is very successful. Everybody has their successful stories. So anybody can be called. Julia can explain. Even you, Makiadi, Stone here. So many people are. Everybody is successful. It depends at what percentage is she looking at, like what kind of successful person are you looking for? But everybody who is here who came from Kenya, I think like they've seen successes compared when you are in Kenya and when you are here. At least you've made some good move in life.
Yeah, thank you, Brother Benson. And that's why I was trying to be very cautious when saying successful, because like Brother Benson says, you cannot quantify what success is. I think it all depends. If you are better today than you are tomorrow, then I would say that I'm a bit successful according to my own mizani yangu mwenyewe. Judy anasema there are many people doing well in Kenya. I guess let's call them well-to-do Kenyans living in Kenya. Okay, like I said, Judy, if you have anybody in mind that you think has a success story, we are always open. Mutembei TV is always open kupokea watu kama hao wakuje kutuambia vile walifanya wakafika mahali walifanya. We always want to try and encourage people, tell people there's always hope out there, na usione kwamba maisha ikiwa ngumu kwamba umefika mwisho. Most of us here, and I think you are watching the vetting story in parliament. There are people who came there wakasema wametoka kwa familia watu 40 hawakuwa na chakula, but they are ministers right now. So it's not always that it has to go through education for you to be successful. They are billionaires, they are millionaires, but they had their baby steps. So we will humbly agree to host anybody. If you refer anybody to us, I will always be available to try and give those people an opportunity to come and tell us their success story. But there's also one thing I wanted. Kevin anauliza kama kuna criminal justice and security studies opportunities in the US. I don't know, Brother Benson, kama umesikia hiyo ama Julia, criminal justice and security studies in the US.
No, I don't know. I've not been keen about studies in the US because I get frustrated when people if I think about how somebody has to move from F1 visa to green card. I don't know whether Makiadi, how the process, to permanent residence. So
from
F1 to green card. What's the process?
I know there's a couple of years, perhaps. I'm not sure. I don't want to say something that I'm not very sure about, but I know there are a couple of years that you might hold that visa, and probably employer wako wa kusponsor ku apply for the green card. I know I've seen a few people move from the F1 to
F1 is student visa. So how do you change? You're a student.
No, I mean not from the student. Sorry, but I mean from the student. Then you finish your education, and then you get employed. When you get employed, the employer holds.
So it means when you get student visa, you got to find a way of getting a job, so that you get H1B. You have to move to H1B, or where do you move to?
You have to, Brother Benson. Perhaps you can explain this. But what I know. What I know is it's when you come to the US as a student, it's very difficult to change unless you share the green card. That is,
No, I think maybe I might not be right, but like when you come as a student, what will happen is that you can go and finish your course, and maybe for instance you get a job. So when you get a job, what will happen? I think like your company, the company where you're working at, will have to apply for you working permit. So there's a number of years. I don't know how many years you will have to take. Then from there, they can process for you the green card.
So
But I
it
don't.
means you got to change from F1 and to H1B.
Yes.
And I think there are conditions that you need to get something like a waiver, because after student visa, you need either to go home, and if you go to stay, I don't understand that. That's why I'm not very keen on
So
student visas.
so I know what I know is with student visas, there are so many opportunities in the US where companies say they will sponsor you. They call it, I think, OPT or something. And that category alone will allow you to do a job in the US, obviously not with permanent residency, but then with a work permit. And then, like Benson told you, there are companies that will tell you you have to do this contract with us for maybe 5 years before you can move on to another area. If you do the 5 years and they like you, they might go ahead and sponsor you to apply for your green card. So these things are there. They are there.
Okay, and on that note, maybe someone is asking themselves about this J1 visa I talked about. The J1 visa is the first thing when you're employed, they'll tell you you're gonna work for 3 years, and then they can ask you, do you wanna go for 2 more years? Then if you say yes, they give you another extension. Still, you're working under your sponsor, the agency, and then after 5 years, you can apply for what you call J1 waiver. So if you apply for a J1 waiver, you are waived. When you come here, the condition is usually that after your 5 years, Makiadi, you should go home for 2-year home residency, then apply for the process again. That's usually the requirement. However, after 5 years, you can apply for what we call J1 waiver. So J1 waiver means now your condition for returning home, 2-year home residency, has been waived and you do not have to go home. So after that, now you get out of the bracket of your sponsor. You can now work directly under your district under H1B. So if you start working under H1B, the district has room even to sponsor you for green card, even for after working for them for 6 months only. They can sponsor you for green card. So that is how the teachers manage to change their visa status. I mean, they work for 3 years first for J1, they ask for an extension of 2 years, then they get a waiver, they move to H1B, from H1B to permanent residency. So it has a clear path, like a clear path. It's not so complicated as long as you're not a criminal in America.
Yeah, I think that is very clear. What I think happens, as you said, Julia, is as long as you can successfully complete your contract with the agency, then at one time after that you are free to move to wherever you want. You can, as long as you're still in good status, you can get employed by somebody else and even make more money than the agreement that you had about the salary in the previous agreement with your sponsor or your agency. So there's always this opportunity. The only thing you have to do is just make sure that you don't screw up the agreement between you and them. And then, like you said here, you have to maintain your discipline. Discipline number one. You cannot be found drinking and driving, stuff like that. Those things will totally mess up your contract with the agency. And there's somebody called Ignatius Mandela, anauliza, if someone has done well in mathematics and sciences but he or she didn't do it university, I think it said in the university, but amefanya Kiswahili, they can't consider that.
No, they cannot consider, because they look at your transcripts. Do you have the units in math? Do you have the units in science? That is, in fact, that university thing is what they are going to look at, your transcripts.
Okay, so transcript, and like we said, some of these documents hata si wewe utatuma mwenyewe. They have a way to verify. So hakuna Teams University, inaitwa Teams University ile ya government.
Na kuna vile utaenda River Road upate transcripts za Moi University. They will take their time to call Moi University and confirm, was Makiadi there, or are these transcripts?
Yeah, so they have a way of making sure that they get the right documents from the institution. You cannot circumvent that one huwezi ruka. I think Kevin Orinda anauliza job opportunities in that. I think you had asked about opportunities in the criminal justice department. With the US, I would want to say there's a big difference between the criminal justice in Kenya and the US. I'm very sure if you are trained in the criminal justice, probably in the US, you would not even succeed in the same in Kenya, and the vice versa. So there's a very big discrepancy. It all depends with what you'd want to know about that. But jobs of criminal justice, I can tell you here, ni ngumu sana, ni ngumu sana. They are totally different. US na Kenya tofauti kabisa, itakuwa ngumu kidogo.
Alafu Makiadi, I might be wrong. You see, like jobs like the ones for criminal justice, these are the things touching on the security. For you, maybe even to get that, I think like the first qualification, you have to be a citizen.
Or a
US
I think permanent residency, because
I mean permanent resident or a citizen.
yeah.
No, I think it should be a citizen, because you have to get a security clearance.
Yes, it should be. You must be a citizen.
So some of these jobs, Julia, especially zenye zina deal na high security, you have to be a citizen, not even a permanent resident. Are you a citizen?
A citizen.
Because you need a security clearance. Now, security clearance inapewa only people with the citizenship. And you know, it goes even worse. There are those jobs in the US, even if you have citizenship, huwezi pata if you're not born here. If you're not born in the US, but you are a citizen, there are jobs that you cannot get at all. You know, some places kama where wanatengeneza silaha hizi zao za ndege, they cannot employ somebody that was not born here. You know, stealing their technology and stuff like that. They don't allow people from outside, even if you're a US resident. So there's that way inaitwa nini, disclaimer. Hata ukiwa na nini bado itakuwa ngumu kwa sekta zingine. Eliud Washira anauliza, kindly enlighten us on research jobs in the US. Have done, I believe you say you have done biomedical science and technology. Washira, there are so many. Let me just tell you, if you want to do research in the US, there are so many opportunities. In fact, biomedical sciences and technology, my friend, you are a hotcake. Most of the time, I wish I had an opportunity to share. Ni vile tu hatuwezi share hapa kwa comment section, but we'll try to get some of these links. There are so many universities that need people to do research, and they sponsor you everything. If you want to do research, there are so many opportunities for you. All you need to do is probably get in touch with the right institution. Everything else will fall into place. So Washira, that one is a hot cake. Tutakuja na more information kuhusiana na mambo ya research, na probably wale watu ambao wanataka kufanya masters degree na pengine huna namna, yani you don't know where to start. Tutakuja na some of those information, hiyo information alafu tuwapatie hapa. Nani mwingine hapo? Sijui kama kuna swali mmeona ambayo nimeruka. What Julia is doing is great. Asking to call successful Kenyans is unnecessary. Let's do one thing at a time. Okay. Aya, hiyo ni maoni ya Nigel Black. We said we are open, and if this session today was teaching opportunities in the US. Last time we had opportunities in Canada. We brought our specialists there. This time we have Julia. Next time I think we'll bring somebody else. I'm still trying to find another person from a different area of the globe, and so when our plans are complete, we'll definitely have a show for that. Julian Oliza, I have a dream that one day Kenyans will access opportunities in Kenya, find good jobs living in Kenya, Kenyan dream, and mainly only travel abroad for leisure and vacations. I would say amen to that. Hata sisi tunaomba namna hiyo. Kila mtu anapenda nyumbani. You know, if you go outside your country, ndio utajua there are some other things ambazo unachukulianga for granted. Ukiwa nyumbani, ile Brother Benson, unajua ile watu wanakutananga Friday jioni kukula nyama pale bypass. Some of those leisures zenye tunakuanga nao, there's hakuna kitu kama hiyo. People are
Think
running
about,
up and yeah.
think about that. When you're on plane and they're telling you like imebaki sekunde 10 uland Kenya, kuna that ka feeling hata ukitembea kapo JKIA.
Ka excitement. Yeah, home is best. Home, she's right. Judy's right. It's just that now we found ourselves, we had to look for greener pastures. But I think that, like she's saying, I don't know when, if we do things right, we'll have more opportunities for Kenyans in Kenya.
And that has always been our prayer. I think most of the people, even if you look at politicians, some of them that are, holding offices right now, I can give you an example of Susan Kehika. Susan Kehika, the governor of Nakuru, is I think a US resident. I don't know if she holds a residency or whatever, what do you call this, citizenship. But Susan Kehika was a student. Susan, naona chairman ameingia. Okay, very good.
Chairman,
Haya,
siku mingi bwana.
Na amekauka.
huyu mzee siku hizi anapiga luku lakini mzuri. Utatusalimia kwanza ndio tuendelee ama namna gani?
Vipi habari zenyu? Mko vipi bro Benson?
Bwana wewe umepotea bwana.
Niko. Naona Stone PK pia hapo. Vipi Julia? Makiadi kama kawa. Tuko.
Mzuri sana, nimefurahia kukuona bwana, siku mingi, lakini sisi tuko tu. We ni kukuja hapa na suti mpya kila siku. Inaonekana ulikuwa campaign manager wa UDA. Namna siku hizi unapiga look ni kama ulipata ile kitu ulikuwa unatafuta.
Hata tai amebadilisha, anavaa tai ya yellow.
Yeah, basi lazima bana. Unaoga unarudi soko.
Naona umerudi soko.
All right, sawa bwana Ndemba, karibu sana. Tunaongea juu ya hii program tulikuwa tumesema tutaanza, lakini umekosa siku mbili sasa. Hii ni siku ya pili. I think the other time we miss ya Canada, it was very insightful. And I think we've discussed a lot. I think if you had an opportunity to listen to what we had in the beginning, I think if you have anything to add on that, you're welcome to do so. But we are still going through the questions that our viewers are submitting right now. So I think tulikuwa tumefika kwa Judy ameuliza maneno ya opportunities. We said research. We have addressed the issue of research. Julia, is there anything that I missed? We have talked about the diploma in architecture. I think we've addressed that. Sasa angalia mwingine nani.
Kuna huyu Nimrod. Unaona hiyo comment ya Nimrod is asking that applied to FACES some time back with a colleague, but the feedback was not forthcoming till we later got an email that the deadline was over. Yes, go ahead and apply again. They recruit every year. And the newer you are, kama Themba, utakuwa kama umeoga tena, ukarudi soko. So sometimes Nimrod, let me say this, I didn't say this. I made 3 applications to FACES Makiadi. I applied FACES 3 times. 3 times. And each time, because I noted that when I used the same email, I didn't pay attention to my application. I used a new email. So each time I opened a new account, Nimrod, so that they pay attention to my application. So that time they did. And they paid attention to my application. So Nimrod, I applied 3 times, apply again, and I have sent like 4 links, 4 different agencies that are recruiting like FACES. Go ahead and apply. You never know which one is gonna hire you. Tell your friend to share with your friend this show today, and maybe bahati itakuja lini.
Yeah, Nimrod, ni hivyo umeelezewa. Mi nitaongezea nisema usikate tamaa ndugu yangu. Wajua most employers ambao wana seek international employees wanakuwaga na something called a pool. A pool is whereby all those applications zinatupwa ndani. So zikitupwa ndani pale unakuta they just pick a bunch of that, alafu wanafanyisha interview, then they still retain your CVs, or they call them resumes. So perhaps yako iko mbali, haijafikiwa bado, lakini vile Julia amesema wakumbushe, just you know, bombard them with so many applications. Perhaps siku moja utaangukiwa, you never know. But also the other thing that we want to tell you is this: sometimes most of these prominent agencies would have a lot of competition when it comes to recruitment. Perhaps you can even try the small ones. Hizo ndogo ndogo pia saa ingine chance yako inakuwa, because those have a point to prove. Ukienda na hizi kubwa kubwa saa zingine unaweza kuwa overlooked. Probably they are not only recruiting from Kenya but other countries. So kama kuna zile ndogo ndogo pia unajaribu kuwatupia application yako kule, pengine itafikiwa. It's just the same as green cards. You don't just apply once na useme nilikosa ya 2013, so I'm not going to apply anymore. I don't think I'm lucky. Unajaribu kila wakati. There are people who get their green cards at the first instance. Kuna wengine wamejaribu mara mingi na wakakuja kupata. So usikate tamaa ndugu yangu. Ignatius anasema, Makiadi, please give me your WhatsApp number. Need to share more, guide me well on jobs in the US. I'm interested to join you. Ignatius, ukitaka contact yangu, tafuta Bernard, atakupatia namba yangu. Utani contact through that. But we said here we have opportunities, especially za teaching ambayo Julia amezungumzia leo, alafu nursing tena ni sana. I think, Julia, we should make a show whereby we will invite you.
We need to make a show for nursing, because you remember at that time we posted a link here about that agency was going to Nairobi to interview nurses, and I don't know how many people turned up, but I think we need to do that. Now, the person saying that she applied many times, Nimrod. Now, also, once you make your application, before you do your interview, maybe you could come back here and contact us, because like Makiadi has said, the competition is high, and the faces and those 4 agencies I've posted are not just interviewing from Kenya. They are doing across the globe. I mean, they are doing across, the only teachers they don't pay attention to the American teachers, but name them, Jamaicans in Europe, I mean, Africa, Asia. Faces brings over 100 teachers to South Carolina every year. And I've only identified 4 farms, so I can imagine just for South Carolina, maybe each farm maybe faces 100, that's 50 each. Those are very many teachers. So for even after faces shortlists you, the districts have to pick you. You know, I mean, this is what happens, Makiadi. Faces approves your interview. Then the faces approaches the district and tells them, here I have teachers. And the district listens to our interviews. The interviews are recorded. Look at our credibilities. They decide, nitachukua Julia, nitachukua Vulani. So even for the district to shortlist you, it means you have to be outstanding. So Nimrod, usikufe moyo, make your application and try and put your best foot forward for your interview. Before you record your interview with faces, you can try and contact us here through Mutembei, and we can see how we can make your interview to be outstanding, to be the best, because they'll be looking at what they need here. They'll be looking at you as the teacher, as whether you're going to provide their children with what they need here. So Nimrod, usikufe moyo.
Ndemba, sijui kama kuna kitu ya kusema.
No, I can see Julia is doing a good job. Julia, unajua ndio hiyo ni specialty yake. Ni mwalimu katika hiyo. Yeye ndiye anaweza kutufundisha ngeli ya mua na chama. Sasa hapo tunakula benchi, tunauliza tu pia maswali, tusikie, lakini vile ni kuongeza tu kama vile Julia amesema, don't give up. Wanasema kabla hujapata usichoke. Sasa anayetafuta achoki. So as Julia is saying, keep trying. Alafu pia ni it's your luck together with your hard work. So kama pia na interest uko nayo, kama uko na interest usichoke. Vile Makiadi amesema, kuna ule anajaribu anagonga mara moja ana give up. Lakini kama ukijaribu mara mingi, probably you're increasing the chances. So I agree with Makiadi and Julia. on that part of not giving up, and of course the rigorous process. Remember, they are also trying to take care of their backs, so they don't just want to bring someone ule ambaye atakuja akaleta issues. So I think they really try to vet. So what was shocking, if there's something that you learn when you come to the US, is patience. So patience is something najua hatuna sana hatuna sana. I think Wakenya hatuna patience. Tunataka kuvuka laini, tunataka kukata laini, tunataka the shortcuts, the things that the patience we don't have. So but here you learn patience. So you just learn to wait, do the process as it's expected, follow the instructions. Unaona, kavia tuma picha size flani, just do exactly that. So I think those are the things that I would highlight. But Julia is more informed in that area.
Okay. I think we have talked a lot on the issue about applying for jobs, teaching jobs in South Carolina. I don't know if Julia, you have any information about what I think Ndush alikuwa anauliza walimu wa sports. We did not capture that very well, so I know there are some.
Walimu wa sports, they will still talk about PE and they want to see a beard in PE. Si ati ulikuwa unapenda sports ukiwa shule, ni vile you went to college to study PE physical education. And here Themba nimeshanga, hata ukisema ati I want to coach basketball, you must just have the qualification. Si vile ati napenda basketball, ati napenda soccer. Hawananga hiyo kitu Themba. I mean, they say if it's not written, it's not there. It didn't happen. If it's not in paper, it did not happen. That's what they say.
But it's true, Julia. You realize here there's a certification for everything.
Yeah.
there's certification for mention anything. There's certification for it. If you're going to, unlike Kenya where you can go and attend a Bible counseling afternoon conference. Then you come out, then you are a counselor now. So you are walking around saying, I'm a counselor. Here there has to be a certification. Are you certified in that state and in that area? So you're right. There has to be some document showing that you have. And I like what is going on in, especially, I don't know how far the conversation around the CBC has gone on, but there was part of what they were talking about, someone getting a certificate for everything that you do, the CBC thing, so that you reach a certain level, you have a qualifying certificate so that you can start working at any level. So if we can have that sense of si kupenda tu kitu, get a qualification, get a certificate that shows that you've actually learned it. I think that will improve your chances. We are talking about improving chances. There are no guarantees, but you're improving your chances when you get a certification. When you apply, you improve your chances. At least your paper will be known. If you are a graduate, you are improving your chances. If you have learned in that particular area, you are improving your chances. If you have an added certificate, you are improving your chances. So as Julia, you're saying, I think that's something worth noting. Getting a certification for anything that you've done, it's a good thing.
And Themba, just remember, like, the certification always varies as per the state. So each and every state, you can get certification in another state. When you come to another state, sometimes you might find yourself also doing their exams to satisfy you that you can do that job. It happens sometimes. I don't know whether you've realized that too.
It's true, Benson. It's true. The advantage is that, Julie is saying, when they look at the content of your coverage in what you did, they do what they call equalization. You know, they see, did it meet the standard of what they want in their state? If it is, if you studied in Kenya, for example, you have equalization criteria where some of the people send their degrees for equalization, and then they award you depending with your coverage. You know, there had been a notion that if you studied in Kenya, your degrees are not recognized. They may not be recognized as they are, but they will need to be equalized to fit the standard of the place where you're going, so that they see whatever it is that you did the coverage meet the level of instruction that they expect for someone to have trained? If not, then they allow you to do some units to get you up to what they are looking at.
Yeah, I can remember. There was a time we had like the town where I stay. There were like around 10 kids that came from Kenya, so they went to a school district. And what happened was, you know, like how they set the exams, and like they could not understand, you know, like how they set the exam. So when one of the pastors contacted me in the church and say, oh, we have some kids from Kenya, and like they say they can understand Kiswahili, so they're going to do exams, so you need to go and interpret the Kiswahili. So when I went to the school district, the first thing that the principal asked me, oh, are you satisfied to do interpretation? I said no. I say it might not work. So they had to deliberate on it, and since it was so urgent, they allowed me to do it for a week. But they told me, if you want to be like somebody will be doing this every time we have an issue like this, you need to find a way to get a certificate from the government that shows that you can really do it. Then so that's how it ended. But like at the end of the day, I am doing it until now because I had to go through some training within the Duchess community, and like they had to give me a certificate to certify that, like when to interpret Kiswahili for the young kids who are coming to Kenya and they still don't understand when the exams is given in English, you know.
Yeah, that's the most appropriate thing that I've come to realize, because you see, your instruction, whatever it is that you're doing, you're taking responsibility over the things that probably might go wrong because of your instruction. So if you are not a certified person, then whose responsibility is it? The person who employs you takes the responsibility of your either sins of commission or omission. So if you are certified, then you take responsibility over your practice and the instruction that you do. So unlike I think in our scenario, we are yet to reach a point where everybody who does everything has a certificate. You know, someone will come mess up your thing, but you can't take them anywhere, because the only qualification they have is they have been doing that thing over time. So there's no certificate, there's nothing to show that you can sue them, or they can take responsibility. You have cases where people, because they love what they do, they love singing, so they're told, you come and teach us music. You know, there's no certification, there's nothing, you know. So it is sometimes, like, I like it when you are given the certificate, it allows you the upward mobility, because you're also able to move across the ladder if you want to probably move to another place, or if you have other opportunities, you can use that certificate plus the experience. So I think this system allows that. So for those who are hoping, and like Julia is saying, any kind of interest that you might be having, for some reason, it can earn you something extra when you join a certain institution. So if you are a teacher and you can also sing, that's an added advantage. If you are talented in those other areas, like you do something, but you can do something as extra, it's also something worth focusing on, so that you increase your chances as many times as possible.
Okay. Sijui kama kuna maswali mengine tumesahau. Kuna mtu ambaye
Nimeona anaitwa Nimrod. Nimrod is saying that he applied for global educational concepts. Nimrod, if you don't mind, if you could, I don't know, join the show and give your number to the private chat. I can add you to a group of teachers that are in our WhatsApp group. They have applied. They are calling themselves Carolina Prospects, and they post their videos there, because I think what you may need to work on maybe is your, I don't know how your interview was, but if you watch their videos, maybe that would help. So that you're saying you keep grinding, that is good. Please keep applying, but sometimes we need to work on our applications and make them better. So maybe Makiadi Nimrod can, I don't know how I can give out his number. I can add him to that group. And those teachers, some of them are working on their visas now. Some of them have done their interviews. They're working on their documents. Some of them are flying soon. So, and usually they share with each other and they share their interview. Like if they qualify, they say, man, this was my interview video. They share with each other. And maybe by watching it, you can tell, okay, I need to work on this. Because mainly Nimrod and the teachers who are prospects here, the American education system, or even everything here, the concept is how much attention you give to individual child, how much growth your focus will be the child, irrespective of what kind of a child you are given. Na naambianga walimu hapa hakuna ati if you ask how if you have a disrespectful class or a rowdy class, you say I'll discipline them. Hakuna kitu kama hicho. You say I will help them concentrate. I'll find a way of helping them pay attention to what I'm teaching. I mean, the approach, like them, I think Makedi was saying the approach is very different. You got to provide that attitude. So I think if you in such a group, if you're not already in that group, because there are many people who talk to me here on the chat, they're already in that group, you see what teachers are presenting, the kind of interviews they have done, and you may learn something. So that is what I can tell Nimrod. But meanwhile, keep applying. Apply again to Global, apply to TPG. Try TPG. If you apply to Global, TPG is also doing a good job. And maybe you can apply again to FACES. Asante Makiadi.
Yeah, let me just add one thing here. Nimrod, I don't know. I think there's one thing, and I think Themba and the rest of us here have been to interviews, virtual interviews. The US is very keen on your communication skills, very, very keen. And let me tell you, sometimes you apply for a job and you'll never meet a human being face to face. All you do is what Julia is telling you. You just record yourself, and then the people will go look at how you're expressing yourself, how you, especially if you are talking about teaching. I would expect you to learn from other people who have succeeded in that area. Probably look at one or two videos, follow what they did. Most of these videos are even sieved, let me use that word, zinapitia kwa kichungi, hazifikii watu. AI zinakuwa inaitangwa artificial intelligence. They look at the way you speak, how you pause in between your sentences, vitu kama hizo, na wanasema huyu hizo zinakuchujia huko juu, so hata ifikia a real human. So it is always good at least to learn from examples za watu wengine ambao wamepitia hapo. Uangalie video moja ama mbili, uone vile walikuwa wanajibu maswali. They want to see how you speak, especially if you're going to be a teacher. The way you use your hands. There are so many other tiny things that you might not know kwa videos when you answer those questions. So vile Julia amekwambia, if you can get an opportunity, hata kama ni kupitia kwa Bernard, peane namba yako hapo. Perhaps uongezwe kwa hii, you learn from one or two. Maybe there's something ambayo haija click bado, and once you get that trick, maybe interview yako itafanikiwa. So as you say, you keep grinding. Si tunaweza ku encourage pia you learn from the people who have succeeded in that area.
Makiadi, Kevin Orinda anasema hujamjibu kama kuna opportunities za security studies.
Kevin, tumeongea maneno ya security. Nimekueleza hivi, security, sijui ukisema security unamaanisha nini, lakini tumesema kama ni mambo inahusiana na federal government in terms of security, hapo huwezi pata kama we citizen, especially citizen by birth, itakuwa ngumu sana. Hiyo mambo ya security, mambo ya TSA, like watu wenye wanafanya TSA, inakuwa saa ingine ni ngumu, lakini security jobs ziko. Unajua watu wa Kenya wakisema security, they just mean security generally. So I'm assuming you are meaning, unamaanisha security generally. Kama ni security jobs ziko mingi sana, the only problem inakuanga kufika. Hiyo ndio naweza kuambia ndio kitu ngumu sana. Ukishafika wewe, hizo kazi ziko, but there are government security jobs ambazo lazima uwe na clearance, na hiyo clearance inamaanisha lazima ukuwe citizen, na citizens pia kuna kiwango ambayo huwezi fika kama hujazaliwa hapa.
Or maybe if maybe is asking if there are opportunities of studies, maybe the universities that are offering like study concerning the security. I think they are there, and I know of one person that I might ask maybe tomorrow, who can give me like highlight whether those courses are available or they can be applied for with international students. Then I might come and maybe give a feedback.
So yeah, go ahead, Ndeba.
Yeah, like Makiadi said, especially criminal justice and security studies normally is an interesting area to go to. So unless you're just coming to study and going back to work in your country, but if you mean security, like Makiadi is saying, security studies is very wide. And yes, there are security, what we call popularly back at home, watchmen and stuff like that. There are those security opportunities. Kuna watu wanafanya security jobs za what you popularly wanaitwa nini, Makiadi, ni home guards ama wanaitwa nini?
Yeah,
in Kenya or here.
Home guard ni tofauti. Unajua home guard ni wale watu walishikana na mbeberu Kenya.
Oh, well.
Remember, you have been funny.
No, wale nini wanaitwa G4S, kuna
they're just security guards, but kuna wale wako armed na wale wa kawaida. So kuna armed security guards na security guards wa kawaida.
Yes. So those opportunities you can he's looking for job opportunities, not studies. So yeah, you can go to get those ones. But like Makiadi is saying, is the first thing is getting an opportunity to come here. If you're a citizen or if you come with your green card, you can, if you meet the criteria age-wise, and then of course other things that they do for you. If you come on a green card, you can qualify. I think there's Makiadi will be more versed with this. The different arms of the military. There's Navy. There's Air Force. There's I think 5 of them, Makiadi, right? So there's the National Guard, which I think the entry is higher. You can go up to when you are 30. I think 36 is the upper. Yeah. So even
Yeah, last time I checked nilikuwa 38, sijui kama imepunguzwa.
Yeah, it's 38. Yeah, 38, and you sign a contract of about 6 years, I think, minimum 6 years thereabout. So if you are below 38 and below, you get a green card. You wanna join the military, then you can come get your green card. That's the first part. Like Makiadi is saying, the first part is to find yourself in the country, and then see if you meet the other qualification plus the age. As long as the age doesn't take you out, you can always apply to the National Guard. And you are I have a friend who just got in. She's around, I think, 36 or thereabout. So she got into the National Guard. So you can find yourself if that is what you want. But also there are those others tumesema hizo kama security guards. Ukikuja ukitafuta, yeah, there's someone says simple training by your hiring company depending on the type of security service that you're going to offer. Yeah, there are those now hizo once you get the first step, get to the country, then you can get that job. Lakini wengine very intense, kama unasema unataka security, sijui
FBI,
CIA.
hiyo utaona hiyo inakuwaga ngumu kidogo, mambo ya FBI na sijui CIA na sijui unataka kuescort Biden, itakuwa ngumu kidogo. Lakini hizi zingine zenye zile Kenya tunajizijua sana, sitaki kuziita ile jina ingine watu huita kwa sababu wanaonanga ni kama mbaya, lakini hiyo kazi ziko, ni security guard. So vile tumesema kuna armed na wale tu normal, but you have also to be licensed. I think all states zinapatia watu license, so huwezi enda kusimama tu mahali ati umevaa uniform na una license. So utapewa license kama ya kubeba bunduki, utapewa license ya kubeba bunduki, and you make more money. They're making, I know there are people in Seattle, Washington, that are earning about $29 an hour security.
But the question is, how does he get? The question is, Makiadi, you need to let them, how, I was still talking about Canada, because how do they get to the US? I mean, question number one, yes, they are qualified. How do they get to the US? That's the question.
You get a visa. How you get to the US?
That's the task that we have here. That how do you get a visa?
Okay. I think that question delay is very important. You are asking a question that many are asking, which I think we can attempt to respond to. We don't in any way represent the United States Embassy, but we are going to give public information that's even available in their website. So there are several ways that you can get to the US. You can get to the US as a student. You can get to the US with a working visa. There are several types of visas. You can get to the US as a student with a working visa, as a visitor. You can get to the US as with a green card. Now, the best is come with a green card, because especially when you want to come and work when you have arrived here. So that's the best, we would say. So the application for green cards just ended. Has it ended? Or it's
ended. It's ended.
Yeah, it just ended, but you can still, like Julia said, keep applying and applying and applying. That is the best. The best for you. The best, should I say? The second best is the work visa. What we are promoting here, like Julia is saying, when a company recruits you from home, it's assumed you have been headhunted. So you don't come to suffer. They make sure that you are comfortable, like Julia is saying, and Julia is a witness and has an experience in that. They headhunt you, and then they bring you, they make sure you are comfortable. They ensure that, and that's the second best, especially for professionals, because we are assuming we are talking to professionals, and when you talk to people who are seeking for opportunities, especially professionals, you'd want to pursue that route where you get an employment, and those people apply for you everything, they help you, and the US here, they have a way of making you feel very comfortable if they have hunted you. The other one is you can come visit and go back. I mean, that's also a way of just coming to the US, come get a visitor's visa, come, visit a relative, visit someone, see how things are. Then you can feel the air, and then you go back and see if you in future will want to come and stay in that place. If you are younger and you are still able to go to college, then you can come in a student visa. I don't know if there's another visa of no, there's religious.
Yeah.
Or religious visa, yeah.
Mhm.
There's
Yeah,
somebody, acha nisalimia mtu Themba hapa. Nahashon na kuona. Nahashon ametoka kule Kirinyaga. It's good you found this site. Please share that with your with family and friends. Na Nahashon kama umetafuta passport and all that. We are talking about how you can relocate to the US, to Canada. You can watch our last Saturday's clip if you didn't watch it. We did a presentation about opportunities in Canada. You can look at that. And I think these people asking you questions, Themba, that was who? Anakuuliza maswali yeye ni God, yeye ni what? These people should try the Canadian thing. The Canadian thing seems to be a bit open, Makiadi. I think, to me, if I wanted to relocate from Kenya right now, I would try Canada because their work visas and everything else seems to be more open. Even their student visas, for example, I think it's easier to move from a student visa in Canada to permanent residence than it is in the US. So I think people watching this, and you're not a teacher today, we are talking about teachers, think about the site that Makiadi shared, and I think it's going to continue sharing it, and contact those immigration lawyers and do something about it. And what you can do something about it, go get yourself a passport and a driver's license. Step number 1, get yourself a passport and a driver's license. Amaji Makiadi na Themba na Stone na Benson.
Yeah, wacha Julia niongezee hapo. Ninaona kuna mtu hapa ambaye anaitwa Peter Mikes. Peter Mikes, unasema wewe ni mwalimu wa hesabu na biashara. That's business and maths. Na unasema, are there opportunities that best fit me? We want to tell you again, hii show ikiisha, just rewind. Hii show specifically ni yako. Kwa sababu zile subjects ambazo Julia amekuwa akizungumzia hapa, moja hapo ni hesabu, na nadhani kama wewe ni mwalimu wa hesabu, amesema uwe na experience ya miaka 2 peke yake, na uwe na driving license ya experience ya 2 years also, I think. Alafu hayo mengine yote amepeana websites, utaenda pale kwa website, just follow through what she has been speaking here tangu anzie hapo mwanzo kufanya presentation. There's a PowerPoint presentation at the beginning of this video, so you can watch that. All the links are in there. You can choose whoever you want to use as your agent, and then I think hayo mengine yote ukitaka, next time you can have an opportunity even to contact Julia na atakuguide further.
Yes, Peter, go ahead and make applications. Don't waste any time. You never know when these GSS are going to stop hiring. These opportunities come and go. Amaji Makiadi, these things come and go. Go ahead and make your applications. Kama una passport, tafuta passport, tafuta driver's license, go to FACES, go to TPG, go to Global Teaching Partners, go to EPI, apply in all those agencies, make your application, present your best, make your best foot forward, prepare your interview, be the best thing they have seen in those interviews, and get your job in the US. Some of the firms, Peter, they pay you a flight ticket. And you never know, next time you'll be in this show encouraging Kenyans.
Yeah. True. Julia is someone is saying that as they are trying, they also need to open their eyes to, that is Judy. Judy is saying, but while you keep trying and trying, also focus on other opportunities in Kenya. to be mindful of waiting too much time and end up not succeeding. Yeah, it's true. I mean, we are saying you miss 100% of the chances you never try. So keep trying as other things. You know, life is also not stopping. So even as you're trying to move to another place, life is going on. So keep doing the things you do. Keep knocking the many doors and the many windows. Keep pushing. Even as you're trying this other. Someone says that you don't put all your eggs in one basket. If that basket breaks. So they said that that is not true with marriage relationships. You have to put all the eggs in one basket. Yes.
Themba, I agree with the person who says also in Kenya we should look for opportunities. It's
Yeah.
like a probability. I think like many of us did a probability in college, even in high school. So if you have like the probability of you, if there, I think if it is US and Kenya, the probability of you not getting a job in US is 1/2 or what? I don't know. So it's vice versa, you know. So and they should not give up, or like and there are also some discouraging voices that sometimes do come and discourage them if they go to this website. The way Julia was saying, she took a risk. Like at first she was not very sure, so they should also have that courage just to try. You never know, because Julia here now is a living testimony of such, you know. So
yeah, and we also need to be alive to what you have read, what you've heard. I mean, you also need, like Julia is saying, and I think Makiadi also saying, that you need to be vigilant. As you contact other people, get to, if possible, use an agency that has been used by other people. Also, wherever you're starting to communicate, try to get into contact with some people who have been there, who have watched as many YouTube videos as possible, because there are quite a number of information nowadays online that have given reviews of any organization, anything that is going there, so that you are vigilant. You are vigilant about being conned, you know, so that you're not able to get into a con game, and you find yourself suffering later. So what you need to do is, as much as possible, use what Julia shared. She's been there, she's used that, she has given you different contacts. Whichever the websites you'll go to, try to get if there are people who have used that, and then maybe you pursue that. Someone is saying, so Themba, can we change careers? Ama aje Atisad, Kenya is unbearable and bearable. It just happens that, by the way, this is a historical thing. Over time, different professions become marketable at different times. I remember when we were growing up, teachers in Kenya were the end thing. The teachers were the only ones who had the cars. Yeah, the teachers. I mean, there are different professions that become they boom at different times or over a period of time. So it doesn't mean that whatever you did is not right, but it probably means that you need to probably need to work a little harder so that you can get anything in your area. And clearly speaking, like Makiadi was saying, right now probably nursing and teaching is anything in healthcare is very lucrative, and maybe teaching, as Julia is saying. So you may find that teaching, especially in the sciences and some of those here, is very opens more opportunities for you. But it doesn't mean that there are no opportunities on those other areas. It only means that there are less opportunities. There are more opportunities on the math, science, STEM, generally STEM, I think, as they refer to it. So keep trying. You never know. It doesn't mean there are people who have not succeeded. in that, even in those other areas, there are always something that is there for you. Be positive as much as possible. I mean, as you are applying, sometime it will come your way. Someone says that I'm a professional painter. Now, here we don't just say I'm a professional painter. You show that you're a professional. So what is it that you've done? You've done a certificate? Have you been certified by anything, anyone? Makiadi, ukifika hapo sasa mimi ni professional painter bila certification.
Yeah, I believe probably akisema professional labda ameifanya kwa muda mrefu ama labda kona karatasi, hatujui tofauti, lakini Kamau, what I can tell you is this. Kazi za watu ambao wanaitwa fundi, ule mtu ambaye anaitwa fundi Kenya peke yake ndiye anadharauliwa. Hiyo ndio kitu ninaweza sema. Wale watu wanaitwa fundi Kenya, fundi wa mawe ambao ni masons, fundi wa mifereji ambao wanajiitwa plumber, watu wa kuchomelea welders, ni Kenya tu ndio wanadharauliwa, labda niseme hivyo. But I can tell you some of these jobs inalipa mzuri sana. Very, fundi wa stima, ule anaitwa electrician. If you go to some countries, these are the professionals that people are looking for. You go to, let's say, for example, in the US, there's something called apprenticeship. After you complete your apprenticeship in electrical or even plumbing is still the same, you'll earn a lot of money. Unapata pesa mingi sana. I have papers and work experience to prove. Okay, so that's what you are saying, Kamau. If you have the experience, then probably we would point you to the Canadian way. And our friend said here, I can't remember his name, is a regular here, sijui anaitwa nani, anaitwa nani, Julia, ule rafiki yetu kutoka Canada mwenye alikuwa anatafutana na Mise. I've seen him comment.
Tom Miner.
Is it? Yeah, Tom Miner. Amesema Tom Miner anatuambia hapa Canada is looking to invite, I think 500,000 or 300,000 immigrants every year for the next 3 years. And if you go to their website, they're called skilled workers.
Kuna skilled workers, kuna so many visas in Canada. Kuna hizo express entries that looks at skilled workers, that is federal workers, also provincial nominees. But kuna what they presented on Saturday, that those non-skilled workers, I mean, there are 3 categories of visas they gave us. Kuna working holiday. Okay, working holiday qualifies for about 40 countries. Kenya is not one of them. However, Kenyans can go through the other one they said, where if you get employed by an employer, you can be hired. You can given that visa, and then the student work permit. Those ones Kenya can access that. Now, the third one is when they were saying ata wakulima, welders, and all that blah blah blah. So me, I'm still talking about Canada here. I hope we'll bring them back. Kuna swali nataka kujibu Judy, and somebody else is saying that Judy, there's someone who is saying that kuna mtu ako kwa Facebook anaitisha $850. Have you seen that, Makiadi? I thought you spotted that.
Yeah,
now,
I think
I've seen some adverts on FB at registration. I don't know what adverts are those, but Judy and Mbau Kamau, I want to tell you that the agencies that I just posted do not charge any fee for application for whatsoever. If you pay anything, it may be maybe for your document verification, and you'll pay to world recognized organizations. And if you pay anything else, it may be that for you to book your appointment at the embassy. Every other day else they pay for you, and some of them even pay for you your air ticket. So there are no fee, there are no charges. Do not, I don't know kama ni Wakenya wameanza hiyo story. Unajua Wakenya, there are something else than buying Makiadi and Benson. There are no fee. There's no fee.
Yeah, EIFB ya $850, hiyo ni jamaa anataka kukugonga. Vile tumekuambia hizi links zenye umepewa hapa, these people do not charge anything. So tafadhali huyo IFB chungana na yeye. Unaweza kuwa unawekewa mtego na hujui. Kwa hivyo wewe fuata zile vitu ambazo tunakuletea hapa. These are proven these are proven. Julia is a testament. She's here. Yeye mwenyewe yuko hapa she's a testimony. She's a living testimony of what we are telling you here. Last time we had lawyers, very, very reliable sources from Canada. And so we do not want to advocate for what we don't know. And that link, your story of Facebook in unatuambia probably is not the best for now unless it is verified. Mtu akuja hapa tuambia alitumia hiyo na akafaulu. So just take note of that. Roy Kiru anauliza, Julia, kindly tell me how I will apply Canada or USA since now I am in Poland.
Okay, mtu mwenye akona Poland akona head start. First, akona passport. Secondly, she can afford to pay a flight. It's a good thing. So can you please go to the Canadian Immigration Department and find out, see something, which visa you qualify for. You can apply for a job. You can even just fly as a visitor. I understand, Makeri, you can apply for a work permit when you are a visitor in Canada. Unlike the US, you can change from a tourist visa in Canada to work permit, to work visa in Canada. So
in addition to what you're saying, I think our guys told us that even if you are a student, you can work 40 hours in Canada. Yes. Ukikuja US, hakuna mtu anakulaga maisha ngumu US kama mwanafunzi.
Yeah, actually the hardest visa ni your student visa. You're allowed to work only 20 hours a week, and it is within the campus. So it's the toughest, the hardest visa to come in, but it's the easiest. Hiyo ndio wanga watu wanapata virahisi. Ukishapata I-20 na uko na hela ya kulipa the first semester, you are likely to get your visa. But again, it's normally the hardest to maneuver with when you get to the US. Because again, you have to remain a student, and most of the students are coming probably ni fundraising ilifanywa ya kuraise pesa ya first semester, and the hope is that you will come and navigate your way and get that money. Mm-hmm. So over time you get here, you can't afford, because a student, an international student pays, I don't know, like 5 times what a local student pays per unit. So getting that money becomes a trouble. So you have to also get your survival means. You have to drop out of school, get maybe 1 unit so that you are remaining a student as you try to maneuver and work. So it is crazy. So as those people who are sending their students over, imagining they'll come and after 1 month they're sending them money, they should be aware that being a student in the US is the toughest thing. You pay lots of money, you work very few hours to raise that money. So being aware of those realities is very important. So as Julia is saying, I think, Makiadi, you'd want to listen to the Canadian guys, what they said, and maybe see if we can pursue the student opportunities in Canada, and also be able to work 40 hours. I mean, that will mean that you'll have a little bit more cash to use, and also to spare and send your mama Samunga back at home if they're looking at you in the US. Yeah.
Yes, Zemba. I saw some Ray, I did some research and I found that if you are a student in Canada, you can, after 2 years, maybe if your college is 2 years, you qualify for postgraduate work permits. And if you work for 2 years, you qualify to apply for permanent residence. Now, there are courses in Canada that are calling COP, PR something, PRW something, then co-op. Co-op means as soon as you get admitted, the university places you in a working organization where you are paid. So you are studying and you are paid. So your course reads co-op. So I've been watching this person called Ray Kirwa. I've been watching this person called Joyce K Canada, and she's giving some good information. If you'd like, you can look up her clips. I think, Ray, if you want to move to US or Canada, please move to Canada. If you can raise some fee for your first term or 2 terms, I think you'll be good to go, and you'll find that you'll be able to get your permanent residency in Canada. And in future, if you want to come down to the US, I think once you have Canadian papers, then it becomes easier for you to come down to the US. That's the pathways too. So yeah, thank you very much, Tony Maina. I think you need to come back and tell us about COP programs. Yes, I saw COP programs at universities, some universities where you get a study permit. It has a COP program. It's a study permit with co-op, which means you have a right to work. You get placed with a firm, with an organization. As you study, you start working. That is it. So thank you very much, Tony. That's good information. So Ray, look up Joyce K Canada, but I have been in Poland. Please look up how you benefit in studying in Canada. Look up those universities. Look at the programs they are offering. Look at the cheapest universities. They are going as low as, I think, 1M for the whole 2-year thing. 1M if you're in Poland, I think that's not a lot of money. And then I think you can do that. You can pay for your 1 term, 2 terms, maybe, and then you get the COP programs. You get a study permit that allows you to work, and I think you'll be good to go. Tony, thank you so much for saying this. Yes, they are called COP programs.
Yeah, just to add on that, in the US there are also co-op programs and internship. But unfortunately, if you're an international student, getting the co-op in the US is another thing. So most of the time, I mean, let me just say frankly here, wacha niseme kwa Kiswahili, immigration ya US imevunjika, it's broken. Some of the students wenye wamekuja huku wakalemewa katikati, unajua hapa ukiingia kwa darasa they track your attendance electronically. So hata ukienda kwa darasa mwalimu ana mark register, inaitwa register, ile ilikuwa naita nyumbani register. So ukikosa darasa mara mbili, I think ni mara mbili, I stand to be corrected, 2 times you destroy your status and you're eligible kuwa deported. It's as simple as that. That's how wamekalia international students hapa sana. So mimi ninaweza sema namna hii, na unaona hata Grace anasema hapa, good news, as of 15 November Canada allows work opportunities to international students 40 hours a week. We are telling you zile vitu ambao tulisikia, hata Grace ndio ameconfirm hapo kwa comment section. Canada is good. Ukileta student, especially kama vile Ndemba amesema, kama ulileta watu 2, 3, 4 pamoja wakachanga pesa ndio kuje ng'ambo kusoma semester ya kwanza, wakifikiria kwamba baada ya kusoma ya kwanza utapata mahali ya kutuma pesa nyumbani, itakuwa ngumu sana Marekani. Lakini Canada ni mzuri. Tumesikia kutoka kwa watu ambao wako huko wanasema utapata nafasi ya kufanya kazi 40 hours a week. Kama wewe ni mtu ambaye hupendi usingizi, ufanye kazi masaa 40 na usome, utatoboa. Masomo ya huku si ngumu sana kama ile ya Kenya ati unakutana na mtu connect alikuwa amekungojea mwaka mzima. Haifanyiki namna hiyo bana. Julia alikuwa amekaa mwaka mzima akiseti mtihani, anajua utafanya December. Haifanyiki namna hiyo. Masomo ya American tofauti because 90% ya wewe kupita inatoka kwa assignment na homework. Mtihani tu iko na ka percentage kidogo sana tu, maybe it's 75-25, so the exams will contribute 25. As long as you're able to do the assignments, easy classes hazitakuwa ngumu. And if you talk to most of the Kenyans hapa, majority yao wamesoma na wamefanya kazi more than 40 hours a week. So you should be able to survive very well in Canada as compared to the US.
Alafu Makiadi, just kwa hiyo point ya masomo ya US, if you're coming with a student visa, just for the information, FYI, wale wazazi wanatuma watoto kama wamewachangia hii masomo, kama ni fees peke yake mzazi atalipa, inataka mtu ambaye ako na hela. Lakini kama unamtuma ati aje asome alafu atajitafutia hizo zingine, then you are throwing someone into the lion's den. No wonder later tunaanza kuuliza nani aliwahi maliza masomo, mbona hajamaliza masomo. ni kwa sababu over time hiyo kusoma inakuwa ngumu, then you have now to be taking maybe a unit. You take long before you finish, because now you have to remain a student, but again you don't have the money, so you came with a student visa, so you have to remain in college, because you lose your status. Once you lose your status, you become what they call a priority for removal, because ume lose status. And in that case, if you become a priority for removal, you are only a thin line. The good thing again in the US, even if you are a priority for removal, no one will come for you. But something will happen that will necessitate that will jumpstart the process. So unaweza pata kuna kitu ulienda ukashikwa mahali fulani, then now it will trigger them knowing that, okay, fine, you are now a disturbance to the society. And the other things follow. So I think it's important that as they are getting the advice that Julia and Makiadi are giving, if you are strictly and purely a student, consider anauna pesa, ile pesa umekuja nayo US ni ya kuchanga ama ya loan. Those monies that you only come and pay 1 semester or 2 semesters, then the best place to send your as Makiadi and Julia is saying, would be a place where they can work, and that will also help them to pay their school fees. When you're working 40 hours a week, definitely you can comfortably afford to pay off part of your school fees as you're studying. So the Canadian route gives more opportunities. The US one, kuna watu unakuta walikuja hapa kusoma hawajaimaliza.
Wajua US kusoma ni ngoma, na vile Ndemba amesema namna hii, priority for removal inataka tu siku moja overspeed mahali ya 50 uende na 60, alafu polisi ya kuweke kando ya barabara, the next thing utakuwa unajipata ni kwa ndege. So ni rahisi sana ukishaharibu status yako. And you can see hata Judy hapa kwa comment section anasema attendance is a big deal. It's a very big deal. And like I said before, thank you for your correction, 60% contributes to your tests. 60% comes from your test and 40% comes from your assignment. Maskini wa USA, kabla Bro Benson aingia, anauliza, hey guys, that's a cool topic. I used US student loans and all is given 0,000. What is that? I don't know what that means.
Is forgiven. I don't know.
Oh, forgiven. Hey, uko na bahati ndugu kama ulisamehewa loan. Wengine bado wanangoja.
And what Temba will say about our students, especially who come from Kenya, I don't know, like you there's a duration like for your studies, like immediately after that duration maybe has elapsed, and sometimes you find that you only attended 1 semester, and then you are out, you're trying to kind of like look for job, and that's kind of like a place where frustration starts. It's become sometimes very hard for students, and maybe even for you to get a job. You will end up maybe doing under-table job that is also not paying enough. Then you will find, for you maybe when you want to send back money home, you will have to go through somebody. Like there is where you find like the frustration will start, and that is what is going to kick in, was speeding, and they find you, or just like being in you went for a birthday party celebration and something happens, and it happens that everybody runs and you become a victim. And so...
Na Benson, ukiendelea hizo nuksi zinakutafutanga sana. Ushaikuwa na kidonda kwa mguu, hiyo mguu ndio huwa inagongwa
inagongwa.
Yeah. I think also as we share opportunities, you also want to share some of those challenges that someone may have to, especially, some of them have complained of the mental health issues of some of the children, or maybe the young people who have been sent to study in the US. And part of that pressure comes from, their relatives who participated in, putting in some funds to bring them to the US, because they're imagining that Benson tulimchangia akakuja US kusoma, so Benson amekaa hapa miaka mbili. Benson by now should be sending some money, and what has happened over time, Benson, several things have happened to student X. And like Benson is highlighting, the person has probably dropped out of school, probably now is trying to make ends meet. The paperwork is also getting issues. Some of them now there are people who have also ended up homeless in the US because now they can't go back home, they can't finish college, and nobody can accommodate them. So they end up with their mental health issues, and they are frustrated. So being aware of the things that they are looking forward to, like you have said, if you can be hired, like Julia is saying, these opportunities, try them. They are the best opportunities where you are coming in on a working visa, or you come in with a green card. Because when you have that work visa, you have a work permit. When you have an opportunity to explore your potentials in many other ways than just being a student, it becomes a bit easier. Yeah, and you can come on some scholarships and look at the requirements of the scholarships also. There are different scholarships that are available, and they have some requirements because they are strict with those requirements of those scholarships. So when you're given a scholarship, if it says that you come study and then you go back or do something, look at the scholarship as they come. That's also a good way to go. I need a scholarship. How do I do? Yet I'm holding a diploma. Now look around, because there are people who give their institutions. Now that is a good thing. There are numerous opportunities online. Just go to, I think, scholarships in the US, something like that. You can search for the scholarships available. And normally in all those scholarships, they give requirement. So you can find even a scholarship that will give you can find a scholarship with your diploma, You can find a scholarship. There are some scholarships that do not necessarily require you to have even an academic degree. They will require you to have probably experiential exposure. Maybe you are a good farmer. You are running this very nice farm that teaches people on certain things, and they think that you can benefit from that scholarship. There are numerous scholarships online. You just need to search. Just go to online, look for, I think, world scholarships. There are websites that are just releasing world scholarships. You don't have to have gone to university to have had a degree to get a scholarship. There are several scholarships that want to bring out certain things that they think that you have as a person. If you meet the criteria, they give you the scholarship. There are scholarships that strictly want people who have done the first degree. There are some that strictly want someone who has done a master's. There are several different. There are some that just want women, women in leadership. So you go there, women university. There are men. They just do the extra work. Now go search. Once you search and you see that you meet the qualification, start applying. The many you apply, the better. So if you go and just link, what do you want? You have a diploma. So go online, and just going online right now and clicking and saying scholarships for people who with a diploma. You'll see a lot of scholarships coming in that you can, for those who are probably looking for masters in Netherlands. There's an organization called, I think, NUFIC. You can just go www.nufic, I think, something like that. You'll get several scholarships that they give for people to go and study in Netherlands. So, yeah, so just go online, search, yeah. And for those who are going to be scammed like the 850, please be vigilant. Do not pay anything until you are sure. I know the process can be It has money involved, but do not start. You see a place where they tell you now pay before you have done certain things. Do your due diligence. If possible, have someone who is more conversant with the thing guiding you. Now, don't just blindly move and do it in secret. Most people who have been conned do some of these things in secret. You just you don't want to probably share information with someone who can help you. Just before you make any payments, before you click the button that I'm making this payment, be vigilant, do due diligence. See, have this happened before to someone else? Otherwise, you will keep losing the money that you are trying to save. Yeah.
Oh, I thought Julia wanted to speak. Okay, go
Yeah,
ahead.
there's somebody who is Makini wa USA. My brother got a Canadian visa after applying for express entry. Now he's 2 months old. Maybe I should just highlight it. He's 2 months. He's saying my brother got a Canadian visa after applying for express entry. Now he's 2 months old in Canada. I advise people not to apply. To apply is not expensive. Stop using agents unless you've got money. Maybe you should say you've got money to waste. So you don't need tuachange hizi shortcuts. I think Wakenya tumezoea shortcuts sana. Tuachange hizo shortcuts. Lazima nilipe mtu fulani anisaidie pahali. Hapana. Just go direct to the sites. Even for the visa, pay to the embassy. Don't pay money to people. You don't need to. The same thing that person, hata kama ni somebody who is qualified, an immigration lawyer or somebody, the same process you are to use by going online and simply filling your details is what is going to do for you, and it's going to charge you lots of money. So just go directly and do the right thing.
Yeah, let me add here and say, there's a very big difference between the process of application of a visa, a US visa, and one for the Canadian or whatever. In Canada, everything is done electronically. Kila kitu unafanya huko, hakuna mahali utakutana na watu enda kufanyiwa interview like that. They don't do that. Now, the most difficult or challenging thing with the US visa application process is you have to go to the embassy. Now, ukiingia kwa embassy pale ni kama kwenda kwa teller. Unajua teller, unaangalia vile teller wanakuanga kwa bank. So as you walk to this person, that person might not like the shape of your head, might not like how you smile, how you walk. You have everything is good, all the papers ziko sawa sawa, kila kitu umemaliza, but there's something, kitu moja tu, because ni mtu anakuangalia, maybe apendi vile una smile, maybe umeweka ndevu kama hizi zangu na Benson. Na hiyo kitu inakufanya unatupwa nje, as simple as that. Now you have spent money, a lot of money, from unajua hata kubook hiyo whatever interview, whatever, umetumia pesa, kutengeneza kuenda medical, umetumia pesa, all those things, and one person just doesn't like you na unatupwa nje. So that is a big challenge, and I think Kenyans, there's a time that Kenyans were complaining and they were saying, if at all unajua utatumia hizi pesa zote na utaenda kunyimwa visa pale, then there is no point for the American embassy to demand this kind of monies, knowing very well that hawatakupatia visa. It should have been a process whereby you pay for the money after you get the visa. I think there was that discussion around that, because the American embassy makes a lot of money from not only Kenya but other countries. But Kenya, it's worse, because then hundreds and hundreds of people that go for interviews at the embassy, it's like you'll have 200 or 300 people having their interviews on one day, and they only give five people or 10 people visas on that day. So it's a very crucial thing that Kenyans should start looking at before they go for their visa application. We try to advise. Immigration in Canada is good. It's straightforward. Grace is here telling us that. Thank you, Grace. And so my Immigration Canada website is straightforward. The Canadian immigration system ni direct, haina story mingi ati utaenda pale ufanyishwe interview alafu mtu aende aseme hizi bank statement zako ni, everything will be sent. Unatuma zote, kama si ya kupata utajua mapema sana. Kuna mtu atakutoa kama vile Julia ulitoka Kirinyaga. Ni Kirinyaga mpaka wapi? Mpaka Nairobi kwenda kufanya interview. Alafu
And that time, that time I was going, we were 2 teachers. We were 3 teachers, and one was denied. Like, just like that. Amepewa visa sponsorship, akona everything. Wanamuuliza ati he's a young man, and did you have a family? Sijui kama ni vile alisema hana family, whatever reason they had. And you know, they don't even give you the reasons why they deny you. So it's really a bad experience. So mimi natetea, okay, apart from walimu wangu, msikufe moyo because of that statement, apply for that thing. But any other,
what you...
Yes.
Go ahead.
Any other person who wants a visa besides teaching, nawaomba mwende Canada, because I don't know them, but what the American embassy does, but those things happen.
You know, the more the American embassy, normally someone was asking the idea of family ties. They say the more you show that you're likely to come back, the better for you. So the more you show you're not likely to come back. So they do that based on the ties that you're leaving back at home. You see, like Julia, you are leaving your family, you're leaving your children. So the idea is that Julia is likely to come back to Kenya. It's just like a bank. It gives a loan to someone who is likely to pay. If you show that you're not likely to pay, you're not going to be given the loan. So they operate like that. So your chances of getting it is increased when you show that if you're a young man, you've got a family back at home. Unless you're coming on some visas like sports visa, the other one that maybe you're just coming for entertainment, then you're going back. You know those ones. You need to show that you have established yourself generally back at home. So coming to the US is not an escape route for you from poverty, which generally it is. But they are like, you need to show that you're having more ties back at home. So a lot of young people face that dilemma. Now, I had there was a case of a student who had gotten, I think, an admission to an institution in the US. And then one of the things they were asking her was if that course she's coming to do here can actually be done in Kenya. So she was denied the visa in that basis. But you see, there was the idea that you still not showing like you are going to come back. Actually, she was told that you don't look like you're going to come back. Now, having said that, however, there are people who have gotten the visa in spite of all that. So it doesn't mean that you shouldn't try. You can listen to too many negative reports to the extent that you don't want to try. Kila mtu ako na story yake. So if you have the passion and you want to try, and you are a teacher, just go ahead. That should not break your heart. Just go ahead, try. There are people who have, in spite of having no ties, no nothing, they have still gone ahead and for the interview, and they were given. But Julia and Makiadi, and of course most of the observers have said the easiest one is Canada. If you can try that and increase your chances, I mean that will be appropriate for you. Someone is saying here, Makiadi, kuna mtu ananigonga hapa. Yaani mimi siwezi kuja hapa nitulie. At least I can post something sensible from Baba and Haro politics, surely. Hata watu wakiongea vitu za kujenga.
Leo tumekataa, waambie them, leo tumekataa kuongea siasa.
We are not
na mtu. We are not picking a fight with anyone. We are not mentioning anyone. We refuse to be drawn to that.
We are trying as much as possible to escape that temptation today. There's a guy here who says, anaitwa Daniel Meli, anasema there's a Canadian lottery that is going viral. I got these details and I submitted all the details they requested. Is this a reality, and how long does this take?
There's no lottery in Canada.
Maskini wa USA amekujibu hapo chini, amekuambia at Daniel, there's no nothing like a Canadian lottery. Utakulwa, eh?
Mhm.
Utakulwa brother, hakuna kitu kama hiyo. Usijaribu kuweka pesa zako huko bro. Hiyo pesa yako itakunywa maji ukiona. Hakuna kitu kama hiyo, achana naye. Na tena be very careful. The only place najua natumanga lottery ni hii lottery inakwanga DV, I think ni ya US, eh? Ya Canada is very different. Yao ni una apply alafu wanakuweka kwa pool, then you earn points. So that one is a bit different from the US. The US ndio iko na hii yao inaitwa DV lottery, which is the same as a green card. So hiyo pesa yako itakunywa maji. Kuna mtu anaitwa maskini wa USA anasema Royal Caribbean is hiring international international Miami.
What is
Apply
that?
for I
What
don't
is
know.
that, Maskini? What company is that? What is it? What is Royal Caribbean?
Must be a cruise ship company. Must be a cruise ship company. I think so. I might be wrong, but I think it's a cruise ship company. I don't know about cruise ship Jaws, but mostly hizo kazi pia, most of the companies kama ziko affiliated na the US hoteliers. Okay, I don't know about that. Hoteliers. Maybe maskini wa USA nimeona huko na nini mzuri sana, huko na mambo mzuri. Maybe
Now
utatupa
give us a site, give us reference.
give us.
Is it online? Is there a site that someone can go to check out? Post the information. When you're posting information like that, post links. If there's a link, if there's a contact, if there's anything that someone can use to do their research background, go back and maybe, because people are here to look for opportunities. If you see any opportunity and you think it's genuine, you can verify that it's genuine. We don't want also kutapeli watu ama waende watapeliwe waseme nilipata hiyo information kutoka pale kwa Mutembei. Hapana. So if you're posting anything, and maybe those people who are going online or using any of these links, remember you are taking personal responsibility for you are going to those particular links. So there, careers at royalcaribbeangroup.com. Kindly go there, check it out, do your due diligence before you start the process or before you post any money, before you give any personal information to any organization or anybody. Kindly do your due diligence. We will not take responsibility for anything that happens to you that you do. So kindly, before you do anything, please do your due diligence. Check out the background. Make sure that before you post your personal information, post any card, money, and anything, you have made your, you have had your information. You have checked your information right. So please, that is what we can say here. We in no way represent those companies. We don't represent those companies. We don't represent the embassy of the US. We don't represent the embassy of the Canadian, Hawajatutuma. What you are giving is public information that's available in their website. You can still go there, check out for yourself, see what refers to you. And of course, we are here just to open you up to what is available. Yes, we wanted to say something, Julia.
Okay, I wanted to say, don't give any money to anybody. Who wants to hire you and they're charging you money? Then they don't want to hire you. So don't stop paying people for nothing. In that case, you prevent them from stealing from you.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be in a hurry to give money to people. Don't be in a hurry to. Yeah, I see some of you giving people money to help you with the diversity visa lottery. Yeah, some of those things you can do by yourself. You can just do by yourself. I mean, go to. Do not allow people, like some of you tell you there's an agent who is going to do something maybe for the DV visa. No, those are people who want to eat your money up. So consider information that has been given. Like Julia has given lots and lots of information. We have also referred to JSK Canada. She runs a channel, YouTube. Go there, learn more. Again, pick the opportunities that refer to you. and then go online. Right now we have been told that there's some free Wi-Fi somewhere in if you're in Nairobi, there's some free Wi-Fi somewhere in Kenyatta Market. Is it Kenyatta Market or somewhere? There's some free Wi-Fi there. Go check, check out, log in, and try as many opportunities as you can, so that you can open as many opportunities for yourself. Maskini wa USA, please, if you have connection, akunanga connection. I don't know the obsession with the connection. What happens is, if you qualify for something, post your things there, they will contact you directly. Yeah, maybe the person like Julia can just be a reference, but normally in most Western and European countries, hakunanga ati connection. Wakenya tumezoea, kuna mtu najua hapa nisukumie hiyo kitu. Now, if you qualify, you qualify. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what someone says. Someone can just say, I vouch for Benson. They'll say, okay. But if you qualify, you qualify. So these opportunities are made to help us here. Yes, they are made to help. We need up-country jobs and... Okay, what is this one saying? Maskini, please, if you have connection just to us, we need up-country job and schooling. These opportunities are made to help us here. Okay, I don't understand that. Maybe if Makiadi does, can try.
I don't know, labda anasema anataka kutoka mjini, so anataka nafasi kama hiyo. I think maybe I don't know, but whatever it is, like we've been told here, sisi tunakupatia tu information. After that, bidii yako sasa ndio itakuokoa. Ni kama kupeleka ng'ombe kwa mto. Sijasema mtu ni ng'ombe, nasema tu ni kama kupeleka ng'ombe kwa mto. Ikifika hapo, kukunywa maji ni bidii yake, hawezi mlazimisha anywe maji. So hii information yote, sometimes ukiona watu wanakuja hapa, some people know some things that you don't know, and that is why they come here to give us such resources. So tafadhali, wewe ukisikia kuna nafasi kama hiyo, jaribu. It doesn't cost you anything to try, and you'll never know until you've tried. So tafadhali jaribu, uone kama unaweza tuma application yako. Hizo cruise ship, I think kuna watu wanatafuta watu kazi, sijui zinaandika watu namna gani, lakini najua kunakuwa na hizo nafasi. Alafu vile tumeongea maneno ya masomo Amerika, hiyo kama una pesa tafadhali, hakuna haja uumie sana. Kama una pesa ya kutosha, usijaribu. Afadhali uende nchi nyingine kama India. Nadhani unaweza enda kusoma India, masomo yao ni afadhali kidogo. And the education.
I don't know them go to India. Now that I interact with Indians, and I want to think that people should not go to India. I want to think that. I think they should try Canada if they can. If someone can even raise just 2 terms fee in Canada, mjaribu Canada. Try. Okay, the American student visa thing is something else. And people here, Themba, Makiadi, Benson, have not encouraged me any better about the American student visa thing. But the Canadian visa, you can move from student visa, student permit, they're calling it student study permit, to work visa, to permanent residence with much ease. So hiyo ndio ningesema Makiadi.
Ati tunaambiwa India ni ya wazee wa kitambo. India si mbaya, akina Kabogo walisoma huko, akina Waititu na unaona vile wako
haileti sana Makiadi, haileti.
Kuna viti kubwa. It's like the Kenyan government recognizes education from India only.
Oh, haileti. If you come here now, another thing I was surprised that there are colleges in Canada that are okay with Kenyans not doing IELTS. And they want Indians to do IELTS, come rain, come sunshine. Kuna shida mahari. Hizo Indians colleges, especially the private ones, there are issues there. Don't go to India. If you raise some money, go to Canada.
Maskini wa USA anasema India. No, there was a time, I mean, he's right. There was a time kwenda kusomea India was the in thing. You know, everyone was going to study in India. So right now,
And then, but let me tell you, do you remember me when I went to college? There are professors that came from India and were not employed by by the colleges. I know a lecturer mwenye alikataliwa kuandikwa kazi because ametoka na masters ya India.
yeah, there are a couple of people I know that, you know, they were going to India, staying for about 5 years. They come back with a master's, and it was rather hard for them to find employment. Even Indian lawyers coming back, it was taking a bit of time for them to blend in, and you know, getting you know, like assimilated into the system. So, but India has been a trailblazer in especially the medicine, the BCom, I mean business courses. They have trailblazed in those ones. So I think we need to appreciate that India has really helped Kenya in many other ways than one. But as Maskinwa USA is saying, the younger generation are less enthusiastic about going to study in India. It is not something that they want to really, you know, jump into. So I think, Julia, the Canadian thing is more attractive. Most people who went to Canada are still single. I mean, it's possible, especially, I mean, Julia, it's something, those are some, when I think, I don't know when we'll start talking about some of the challenges, including
Start a dating site.
yeah, including the relationship wise challenges that people face, especially in the first world. You know, dating is not as slow as it is back at home. Here, dating is a little fast. So if you are a little slower, and time moves so fast, and you realize too soon that there are several things that you cannot do. So the you know, Julia, at home in Kenya, you can go to work, leave at 5, and come hang around in the city. You know, somewhere in Ambassador area, you know, or meet some people. That time in the West is what is not there. So you find it so hard for you to find that opportunity. And before long, you got bills that you've got to have to chase to pay, and you have to do one work after another. So over time, Bro Benson and others, they find themselves single
So
without
sasa
knowing.
unamaanisha then kama uko na mtu wako usiwache mtu wako nyuma. Kama uko na mtu wako na nimekutafutia kazi ya walimu, tafadhali ukuje na mtu wako hapa, uwe na mtu wako hapa, kwa maana kulingana na Themba utasikia baridi sana, maisha itakuwa ngumu.
Yeah,
Julia,
dating.
maybe to add on what Themba is saying, it's something that is something that is, yeah, you have to give it a deeper thinking. They're not single by choice. One, I think, is when you come in, there's that the system and the culture shock in you will definitely change you. And one, you will come also to realize, like, the way when back at home we embrace the family, on how, like, if I'm not single, maybe back in the village, the traditional way, there's a way you feel like there's a certain age where if I reach, I need to get married. It becomes like kind of like a priority in the society. But when you come over here, you find it's not something that is a priority, and time also is not there. You only think of work. It doesn't click. So it is something, maybe sometimes if Bernard or Makedi will hold that, we can talk about it too. It's very hard.
It's true, Bro Benson. You see, if you're in an environment where most people are getting married, you're likely to get married. But you are in an environment where most people are not getting married, and it is not a priority, or the people you know are in their third, fourth, fifth, or sixth marriage. I mean, it kind of reduces your appetite for getting married, and also the pressure from home. Most of the people probably they are the first generation. Uh, exports from their family. So that means that they got a lot of pressure from their families back home. And so they have to do lots of investment back in terms of sorting out issues for everyone because they are the first generation exports. So they have to make sure that all the other people appreciate the fruits of their son. So the pressure there makes it hard for you to make certain decisions because how will you support back home? And the Western the West, if you are a man, the ladies in the West don't understand that you have to send money back home because that's not their culture. So you start having certain fights because you are saying that, I'm taking care of my sister, my brother. So they're like, how can't your sister and the brother take care of themselves? Because that's what this culture, gives to them. So with that kind of conversation, when someone realizes that you do not want that drama, you decide, let me remain, and then you hear several other stories that Bro Benson brought this girl from home, and this girl reached here, and this girl decided that I've had enough, I'm now in the US. So when you hear such stories, you also don't want to bring anybody from home, so you are stuck in between, and therefore singlehood follows.
I think there's a lot of adjustment then, but that people have to do, both men and women. I mean, that culture thing, like you coming from Kenya, you're a Kenyan man, ulizoea kuweka miguu yako juu ya meza, atunaitisha gazeti lako, unaona KBC, ama Citizen, and both of you have just came from work, you and your wife. Now you need to feed the kids, to cook. I mean, when you land here, you got to adjust. I think most people here work with hours. Like, people literally work overtime here. Like, wanakunga wamechoka sana by the end of the day. So you don't expect your wife, I mean, unaeka hiyo miguu yako juu ya meza, utaeka for 2-3 months, she'll be like, I'm done. She'll be like, and then there's kind of a lot of courtesy that comes from people here, especially men towards women. Na wewe umezoea mama sijui nani, mama Wanjiru. I mean, hautaki kubadilika, we ni Mkenya halisi, mwanaume Mwafrika. And this lady goes to work, and Akina Benson organizing her office for free of charge and making her comfortable. You can be sure she'll be very soon very tired of you. And she's already in America. What else does she need? Utadu.
and just to remember, maybe she has been staying alone for the last 5 years when you are in Kenya, and she's been paying all this.
She's one who sponsored you. That is even worse, because she sponsored you.
Yes.
Let's say she's a teacher. She came to this school and she found this principal who even arranges her classroom as a man, not for anything, but he's humble enough to do that. And you just landed with your legs on the table. Na ametoka job, amechoka sana. She'll be so irritated. I mean, everybody goes to adjust, but I'm not also just saying that women should embrace this feminism thing, because everyone needs a home. Even her husband needs a home, like a homely thing. So I think everybody got to adjust. Everybody, the kids, the men, the women. It's a tough thing then, but the interacting thing, okay, that one is one thing. But what I find difficult is how people socialize here. There are no places to social. Unajua huko nyumbani tunaenda kanisa, tunapiga story na wale wa mama wangu, lazima tupige story ya wiki mzima, we update each other what happened with Baba Nani and Mama Nani, I mean, for that day. And there's nothing like that here. People, the men meet in Nyamachoma places. I mean, we meet everywhere and everywhere with everybody, right? Back home. Where do you meet people here? Tell me. I mean, where do you meet people? If you want to meet people, even in churches, people talk in the churches here, or people just go to church and they sing. You know, first and foremost, the songs in the church are 3 at most. I mean, there are only 3 songs in the church. I don't know whether Kenyans are surprised to hear that. 3 songs only. And the sermon is 1 hour only, period, and cannot go beyond that. And at the end of the church, Matoka, and I don't know whether anybody greets anybody. So when do you meet people then? Where?
Kwani Julia, hii kanisa unaendanga ni ya Lejo Maria, mahali watu wasalimianangi, mtu anatoka akiingia kwa gari akienda nyumbani. I think the church that I go to is a bit different. We have a cup of tea after service.
Wow.
So people
I go to a white church. Okay, the other thing is white, black churches.
Now that explains the church that you go to. Okay, like Makiadi say, and you're saying, you are actually bringing a dichotomy between the two. An expressly white church and a black church. Actually, even black churches here, the African American churches are very warm and very lively and very touchy, and they can sing all in end and they make a lot of noise. The white churches are a little you know, they have conservative and they do their things in a very methodical way. So they will come and, like you're saying, the time, you know, within this time, when they're done, you move on, because that's their culture. It's not bad; it's their culture. The African Americans represent more of what you're trying to say and what Makiadi is saying. Go to African churches. You know, where I don't know where you live. Probably you are predominantly white. There are places where you have predominantly blacks and maybe African. Kenyan Americans who are here. They are typically the Kenyan church. You know, you go there, they are meeting out there. They do not follow time. They will stay in church the whole day. You know, that's like the sermon will stay for whatever time you guys can you know, they try, and I understand, they try to bring Ukenya in their worship service. They are not.
I understand them, but on that note, my friend, I have some family in Boston. They even have a Kikuyu church, and then they have this friend of mine in Atlanta, Georgia. She went for a wedding in Atlanta for a Kikuyu couple. She was so mad. She's a lawyer from Western. First and foremost, they invited her. But what was so annoying, everything was done in Kikuyu. Everything and then they ask in Kikuyu, kuna mtu hasikii Kikuyu hapa? And they ask in Kikuyu. In America, in Atlanta, Georgia. Can you believe it?
Yeah, I have seen that. There's actually, what has happened is there has been some. Okay, they have learned a lot from. They're trying to emulate the Jewish community, the Indians, the Asians, the Somalis. What these Asian and these other communities do, they actually have their communities in America, but those people express themselves in their native languages, the Chinese and all those. So they have developed a certain kind of bond that has made them, get into several avenues that were initially not theirs. For example, they are in the economy, they're in the medical. Like Indians are really bringing their people, and the Asians are also having that. They have really thrived. They have created the shopping, and even some of them have created communities that they have managed even to elect leaders into some of the leadership positions within those particular counties and cities. So there's that sense of trying to not to lose certain things, and what they're trying to do is bringing the language so that you make your children, as much as yes they are in this country, they are still able to be in touch with their country of origin. And that's what they're doing. Some of them are very deliberate. I see a lot of Kikuyus are very deliberate about that. I think Boston, Atlanta, Georgia, then there's also Seattle. They are really trying. In Minnesota, you have the Somali community that is really, really thrived, and the other communities. They're trying to do that because other communities have shown that. But you see, it now creates the dynamics that you're saying. I don't think it's a bad thing because I went to buy something from a Chinese shop. The person does not understand any English, but the guy is working. Yeah, I went also to an Indian. An Indian is like an Indian store. I don't know if you have them, Makiadi, where you are. If you have many Indians, but where I am, they have the Indian store. They call it the Desi district. Now, if you enter the Desi district, it's the people working there do not even understand English. It's like you have gone to India. You get inside everything. They have Hindu food. They have Hindu words, Hindu music playing in there. Everybody there is working is an Indian, but they're in the US. So I mean, you realize it makes them be more closer. They have a city here where they have just they have brought themselves, and it's a gated community, and they have their school, they have everything of theirs. It's just a sense of trying to learn from the Jewish community and the Italians in New York, the Jewish community in several other places, so that you conquer. So it's not a bad thing.
Yeah, it's a good thing. It's a good thing. I don't know. Okay, here in South, we have black churches. I think I've not ventured into that. White churches. I mean, there's a lot of, yani watu wamegawana kiasi. Na hiyo kitu ilinishtua Themba ati black church, white church. Mimi nikajiuliza, watu wataenda mbinguni kweli? Na tabia kama hii. So, Makia, do you think we have talked enough or anything else?
I think we exhausted the topic. We've had several questions hapa ambazo zimejibiwa. I enjoyed the session. I think I learned a lot. And it's a good thing. This is show number 2 on what we call the information session. The first one, as we said, was from our gentlemen from Canada. They spoke about opportunities in Canada. We had a website that was introduced in the comment section. So if at all you can have an opportunity to go and inquire more about the opportunities that you're interested in, we are always free to provide that website, which is www.jmlawoffice.ca. Those are the guys that will help you with anything that you want to know about Canadian immigration. And today, Julia has talked about the opportunities, teaching opportunities in the US. If you want to follow back on what we talked about, please, hii session ikiisha, rudi nyuma uende uangalie kile ambacho kimezungumziwa. It was a PowerPoint presentation. There are links in there. Those are genuine links. Julia is a testament, as we said. She's an evidence of how this works. So tafadhali enda uangalie hapo, na ukiwa na swali lolote, ndio hizo tena link zimedropiwa hapo. Ukiwa na swali lolote lingine unataka kuuliza, tutakuwa hapa next Saturday, I guess. I'm still organizing for, I've spoken to somebody, Brian Richards ameniambia yuko na attorney wanamuita barista huko UK, ambaye tunamwandaa probably on Saturday. Akipata nafasi tutamleta hapa, tumpatie nafasi ya kutufunza, and then from there we can move on to any other place. So I don't know if there's anything else. Probably Themba, you can help us close the show, alafu tukutane kesho kupiga siasa ya UDA na Kenya Kwanza na Azimio.
Thank you so much, Makiadi, Julia, and of course kwa wale wote ambao mmekuja. Hii ni session muhimu sana. Hii si kama vile ambavyo Makiadi, Julia amesema, hii si ya siasa. Hii unaweza ukajijenga. They say yes, it's part of politics, but hii ni politics ya maendeleo. So we don't talk siasa ya party. Hapa tunaongea siasa ya kujijenga. So you can learn a lot from and pick a lot. Na tafadhali, you can only do like Makiadi said. You can only take a cow to the river, but it's up to the cow to decide whether it wants to drink the water or not. So hopefully you will have gotten some help. We are not saying anything new. We are just reinforcing what has been said before by other people, and we are also repeating what we have said here before. Julia has had a show here, and she talked about this, and we will continue talking, and we will continue sharing, and we will continue learning from you. If you are coming from thank you, Tony Maina. You're saying I'm looking sharp. Yeah, na hii tie ya UDS, ndio. So if you're in a place where you can help us, any opportunities across, because we want to open up opportunities for as many people as we can. Please come on, jump in, talk to us. There's a guy called what's his name? Maskini wa USA. I mean, if you have opportunities, share. And any other person, if you have any opportunities you want to share, kindly come on and share with us. And as Makiadi has said, we'll be having this going on every Saturday. You coming, it's information session. We'll share opportunities, challenges, and anything you need to look out for. Like we have said here, Julia has repeated many times, do not make payments to the sites she has shared. There's no payments you're making. So know that, do not be conned, and kindly usikubali kukoniwa kupitia kwa Mutembei. We say that tulikuja kwa Mutembei, nilitoa hizo vitu hapa ndio nikaenda nikakoniwa. No, we do not want to you to be conned. You are here to get help, and we are here to expose you to that. Thank you so much. We'd love to continue to please, but we have to leave. And this brings us to the end of our show tonight. We meet again tomorrow, as Makede said, for us to discuss siasa za wanasiasa, the politics of politicians. Now, let me acknowledge a few of you have stayed on. Sam Owanga, asante sana, unanisumbua, asante sana. Martin Mwema, Julia, you are passionate to watch for what you do. That's very positive comment, Julia. I'm a teacher who went through the same. Asante sana, Sam. Sam ashakuja hapa. I don't know if it's the same Sam.
What does he mean he went through the same? I'm trying to see. Julia, do you know what Sam is talking about, or?
He's probably also in the US.
Sam, can you briefly elaborate, what did you go through?
Is he talking about going through the same process of whatever, immigration to the US through the sponsored? They can contact you, or some if you want to give your contacts, we are always free to post that here, whichever way you want it to be, so that at least tunaweza saidia watu na more information. And it says they came through the same program.
The same program, yes.
Awesome. So there's evidence number 2. There's Sam Owanga there who tells you that that program works. So what else do you need? Yeah, what else? What other evidence do you need? There's Julia, there's Sam Owanga, and many others. Kindly, if you can share, if you are in a position to talk and you have other opportunities, kindly share. Usinyamaze sana. I'm here and still teaching. Yeah, thank you so much. The Sam Owanga sponsored program is in the US, still teaching through the same program. Now, why not you? Let me acknowledge that tulikuwa tunafunga, so that was just by the way. Ndush, asante. Asili 2 TV unanisumbua. Tony Maina, asante sana for your compliment. What is it with the suit that when someone is putting on a suit ako sharp, someone akivaa t-shirt kama Kiadi hayuko sharp? What is this with suit? Makiadi akakuja hapa na suti ya blue ati ako smart kuniliko. Kasema haya basi wacha tuone. Sasa
you know Ndemba, ukivaa suti ebu angalia zile nguo zenye umevaa. It's the same body lakini zile nguo umevaa. Unaanza na vest, unaweka shati juu, unaweka inaitwa windbreaker juu, alafu unaweka tie ndani ya shati, alafu unaweka koti. Look at that process. You know, the detail ndio inafanya unasikia watu wanasema you look sharp. The detail. Sasa mtu kama mimi nimekuja na t-shirt bana, it's just the normal thing.
Makiadi wacha chocha. Haya, Judy MDG Mudhoni, asante. Grace Maskini wa USA, asante sana. And Charles Agwaru and all the rest, asanteni sana, and thanks for staying on up to this time. Akech Kennedy, nursing, agriculture, and the hotel industry, na madaktari and therapists, the list is endless. Okay, so someone else, what other opportunities do we have for non-teachers? Yes, guys, but check for us other job opportunities, please. Okay, no problem. Stay here. You'll get all the opportunities shared. We share kila siku, kila Saturday. Now book kuja na kiti kila Saturday, and stay here and here if something is going to there's an opening. And if you are there in the comment section, you know any links that you can post for people, kindly post them. Let's help as many people as we can. In this world, they say the only good thing you can do is to help someone. Open an opportunity for someone. Don't eat alone. Usi kama kuna kitu najua, share information. Information that you have shared has gone ahead and helped someone. You never know who is going to benefit from what information you have. Usinyamazie kitu. Share. You never know. And now wewe ukipata information, try as many times. Because if you don't try, there's this person, I think for those of you who subscribe to the biblical teaching, the guy who was sitting by the poolside, and the pool was actually, supposed to be therapeutic. But this guy was sitting by the poolside and was not getting healed. So when I think Jesus came and asked him, and he said, I've always wanted, but there's no one to throw me into the what? Into the water. Was it Jesus? Bro Benson?
Kwani Ndemba una doubt gospel yako?
I'm just trying to confirm with Bro Benson because he's a little more confirmed. I don't want to misquote.
Why you are not asking me and Makiadi? That is also something else.
Julia, you are going to church tomorrow. Calm down.
Unajua hiyo jina inaitwa brother, hiyo brother, hata ungejiita Sister Julia.
Yo Bro Benson inakaa kidogo ako na kidogo uvuto.
Ameshikana na dini.
Kiasi.
He's really I sometimes I don't know Bro Benson ako pande gani, but he doesn't like offending anyone. At least we need to congratulate him for that. He tries very much not to offend anyone here.
Bro Benson is blue damu, lakini ni vile sasa hataki kuwa offensive, lakini
mimi ni blue.
Nilimuonea 18 kitambo sana.
Hapendi
Yeah. Tony Maina amenisaidia, anasema yes, there has been nobody to throw him in, and then akaspit kwa mud, akapaka kwa macho yake akaona. So you can be near the water, but you are not getting healed. You can get everything, but you're not getting healed. That's the point I'm trying to make. Thanks, Tony Maina, for that. So yes, we have information we are giving, and we hope that you're going to get healed. So thank you very much, ladies and gentlemen. As we always finish, I don't know, Makiadi, we also finish with the Mungu Nguvu Yetu. We just finish and we meet again tomorrow.
Hizo siku tumekuwa tukipiga siasa, watu wanatoka kama wamekasirika hapa. Kila mtu anasemanga tuonane. Wakina Duke wanapotea mkiwa katikati mnaongea, so we are,
it has been chaotic.
It has been chaos here.
Since you left us, Demba.
You know, those guys that used to come here and cry UDA, the likes of Mbudhia. Siku hizi hata sijui aliingia wapi.
What happened?
UDA meacha, wacha tulisema tusiongee siasa hapa. Wacha tuachie.
You disappeared. Tomorrow you should come. There's a lot cooking. There's so much cooking. I mean, there's a lot cooking. I don't know where people are heading to.
Okay, I'll come tomorrow. Now that you said today tusipige siasa. Okay. Ibalize basi na wimbo wa East Africa na Julia, kwa sababu at least tuwakumbuke.
East Africa hata mimi sijui.
Julia taimba. Julia kwa sawa.
Very beautiful song, yeah. Very beautiful song.
Let me look for it. It's a long time since. Yeah, next time we shall ask Brother Benson to sing it.
Oh, na kuna Sam Owanga. Sam Owanga, hebu fanya hivi, kama unaweza get in touch with one of us tafadhali. Unaweza kuwa na kitu ambayo inaweza saidia watu. We can always give you an opportunity hapa ya kuongea. Kuna watu ambao wanaweza taka kujua. Kama Kech anasema he is interested, anaweza taka kujua zaidi, and I know the only way we can give such people an opportunity ni kupitia kwa hii show. So tafadhali get in touch with any one of us, alafu we can give you a chance uongee kwa hizo opportunities zenye unataja. Thank you.
Okay. Mungu twaomba uilinde Jumuiya Afrika Mashariki, tuwezeshe kuishi kwa amani, tutimize na malengo yetu. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu. Uzalendo pia mshikamano viwe msingi wa umoja wetu, na tulinde uhuru na amani, mila zetu na desturi zetu. Viwandani na hata mashambani, tufanye kazi sote kwa makini, tujitoe kwa hali na mali, tuijenge jumuiya bora. Jumuiya yetu sote tuilinde, tuwajibike, tuimarike. Umoja wetu ni nguzo yetu, idumu jumuiya yetu.
Thank you very much, Julia. That was a good ending to a very, very informative session. God bless you all. See you again tomorrow. Alamsiki.
Haya, sawa sawa. That's